Welcome to the Bonsai Movie Crew. I am Eric. I'm your host today. I am joined with
Joseph.
Karen.
Madison.
Why'd you have to cough?
She was clearing her throat.
Clearing her throat.
She wasn't coughing.
So let's jump right into it. What news do you got for us today, Joseph?
Joseph's got some fucking news.
Why don't we talk about our new venue?
Well, yeah, let's talk about that first.
Yeah.
That's one part of news. That's one part of news.
Yeah, I mean,
It is news. We moved.
We did move.
we moved.
We moved. We're back in my base where it all began.
Yeah. But you guys wouldn't have seen the
Or in
basement
Joseph's
before because we
dungeon.
didn't have video then. But it
Mhm.
didn't look like this either then.
Made it
So-
look pretty.
Yeah, we painted the wall and threw some splatter stuff on the wall. Like, we just killed a bunch of little Smurfs.
Smurfs are only blue.
Pink
Yeah,
one.
I was getting ready to say,
what,
like-
how do you know what color
You
their
mean
blood is?
trolls?
We're trolls, whatever.
Yeah, I
Or-
would say trolls would be more accurate.
Or like, I picture this as Smurf splooge.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so uncalled for.
It was like a orgy down here, Smurf
Stop.
orgy. All over the place. All over the place. Anyway, so we're gonna do. We haven't hung any pictures up yet, though.
Is it okay?
What?
It's a
Your
work in
mind
progress.
Yeah,
What happened to Smurfette?
dude.
Well, you know that
She's
blank
still-
spot over there on the wall where there's no splashage? And that's where she was standing.
The whole time. Oh man.
You think we're bad? Look at the carrot over here. The outline of a
fucking
little
great.
Smurf right here.
I would have never thought of that.
You're welcome.
She's still in the ICU though. She'll be fine.
Well, it's mostly because of what got in her eye.
Yeah, they are unsure as to whether or not she will ever be able to see again.
The
Yeah, her
mushroom
sight's
hospital.
in question.
hmm Yeah,
They told her to wear goggles, though, to be fair.
Oh my god.
yeah. And she did not listen. She's like, I'm a full-grown Smurf. I can
She
take
has
it.
pink eye now, doesn't she?
No, it's much worse than
Oh, it's
pink
much
eye.
worse than
Did you
pink
at
eye.
least offer her a scuba
I wasn't
mask,
down here,
something?
man.
Oh.
What do you think? I was down here watching?
Yeah.
Just a bunch of Smurfs. Like, hey, can we use your basement? I'm like, sure, $20.
You were recording, obviously.
$20. That's all you charge.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
How often do you get a Smurf saying, hey, can we have an orgy in your basement? You know?
Not
Man.
recently, I can tell you
We're
that.
off to a good start here.
Jeez.
Uh,
Oh my god.
Smurf orgies.
I'm sorry,
That's
Madison.
amazing.
For what? I mean, how much worse I've heard.
I know, I know.
Oh, man, that's
shit.
Not okay.
Oof. Okay, so now do we actually have other news?
Nope.
Nope, that was it.
I don't
Smurf
think they
The
orgy.
first bit of news is, she didn't make it.
I don't think they need to know that part of the news.
Breaking just in.
Just in. She didn't make it.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Starting out on a very
Hey.
bleak note.
She didn't make it. The other ones did.
Yeah. Fuck.
You are so proud of yourself.
Dude, we gotta restart this.
Fuck that, dude.
What
We're starting out strong, dude.
Such a family-friendly
Yeah.
show we have.
We're starting out strong.
I've got
NC-17
tears.
coming soon.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Starting out strong.
Whew.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and get into the news then.
I thought
Kick
we
that
were
intro.
doing-
All right. I don't really have much this week. Okay, so Guillermo del Toro. I don't know if you guys know. What do you guys? Are we still laughing at it?
Leprechaun jizz.
Oh, that's not Leprechaun, man.
That's why it's green.
I looked at Madison. She was still laughing, so I started
Happy
laughing
St.
again.
Patty's
Sad
Day.
part is I don't know what's Smurf jizz and what's KY jelly. I don't. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's just the shiny stuff, the KY.
Yeah, the shiny stuff.
Yeah, the KY.
You use that for clear
That's the
coat.
glossy stuff.
That's the glossy stuff,
Hey,
is the KY.
you use that for clear coat.
Yeah, you just have to smooth it out a little.
I should have left this table down here then.
Yeah, they could have clear coated it for you.
All right. Anyway, so first bit of news. I don't know if you guys knew or not. Guillermo del Toro is doing a Frankenstein movie for Netflix. It's like he's got a deal with. He's got some kind of deal going on with Netflix. I don't know what it is, but so they named the actors that'll be playing in the movie. I'm just going to read this to you. Deadline is currently reporting that Del Toro's Frankenstein is moving forward at Netflix after his Oscar win for the stop-motion animated feature Pinocchio, which I haven't seen yet. I need to check it out, actually.
I hated the first Pinocchio.
There's only been one.
I know. I hated it.
Okay. According to their...
There's been a bunch of them recently.
There has, yeah. Well, this one the one he did came out about the same time that the live action came out, too. And I'm like... And apparently that one stunk ass, but the Del Toro one was really good.
I'm talking about like the animated one.
Yeah, right.
The original.
The original, yeah. According to their report, the director is currently in talks with 3 major stars to hold lead roles in his take on Frankenstein. And you guys are going to like these guys. So Andrew Garfield, which everybody loves. Oscar Isaac, which is in the movie we're about to talk about, which is funny. It always seems like whenever it's always news like about somebody that like
we've talked about Oscar Isaac quite a bit.
Well, he was just in the movie we did last week too. So
before that, like we never talked about.
Right? Yeah. He's a great actor. I love him to death. But and Mia Goth. So neither Isaac or Garfield have much experience in the horror genre. Though Isaac did a voice for Gomez in the animated Addams Family movies, and he did Annihilation, obviously, which is also a horror movie. But Goth comes as a ready-made scream queen after her roles in X, Pearl, Suspiria 2018, and Cure for Wellness, and Infinity Pool. So there you have it. Mia Goth, still holding the reins and going through it with more... She might as well stick to the genre.
Wouldn't it be funny if she did like a rom-com just once?
I don't know, man. She's too weird to do anything like that.
Just
like,
once.
It would be cool, I guess, to see how she does it.
I like it when they step outside.
I do too.
I just don't
it
know
is weird.
I don't know if she could though.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would work for
She
her.
was the
Mia Goth.
Yeah, she was that blonde in
Infinity Pool.
Yeah, Infinity Pool.
Yeah. She plays as Pearl, and she's
Maxine.
in X and Maxine. Yeah, so
she does a
she's
really good
she's
job.
not
Cure for Wellness. Do you ever see that?
She's
she does a really good job of being crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's like,
She looks crazy.
She's
even.
yeah, she's like really taken that by storm,
And she's doing
really
a great
good.
job,
Yeah, she's
honestly.
doing a great job.
So here's another bit of news here. The last thing that I really have. So now Tarantino's 10th and final film. So there's the first bit of news. His last fucking movie. Yeah.
Final.
Well, this is his 10th film. He always said he was only doing 10 movies. So we'll see.
Who was it?
I don't know. In the news,
Quentin Tarantino.
he said
okay.
the Hateful Eight was going to be his last movie. He announced that.
And then he did Once Upon a Time.
And that was going to be his last movie.
Yeah.
It's like the final Kiss tour, only Quentin Tarantino movies.
I know. That's funny because like Slipknot's done the same thing. Like they'll say, "Oh, this is our last album."
Mm-hmm.
It's not because like they're like tired of doing it. It's because half of them don't get along.
Yeah, no.
And they aren't really friends. Like a lot of them aren't even really friends. They're just kind of like acquaintances.
Yeah.
So it's like a business thing for most of them. Like
Yeah.
I've even seen Corey Taylor come out and say like, "No, dude, I only hang out with like a couple of these guys." Like,
Yeah.
but anyway,
That's
get it,
weird.
but it's
I
just-
figured all bands like were just friends. I never thought about it that way.
Not necessarily.
not always. Not especially in a band like Slipknot where there's like 9 members.
Yeah.
I know. I never thought about it
Yeah.
that way.
It's kind of like how you run around with a group of friends and like you have like this group of friends, but then there's like a couple of friends in that group that like you
That
don't really know
know.
or hang out with. We've had people like that in our group of
Mhm.
friends before, you know.
Usually fade away after so many times.
Right, exactly. So anyway, Tarantino's 10th and final film has been revealed. Per The Hollywood Reporter, Tarantino has finished writing an original script titled The Movie Critic, and is currently preparing to direct the film this fall. Sources describe the story as being set in the... I'm tired of him doing these fucking set pieces. Being set in the late 70s, Los Angeles, with a female lead as its center. Why? He just did a movie like that called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Hope it better be good. But then again, he also did Django Unchained and then turned around and did The Hateful Eight right after that.
Yeah.
So it's like he gets on these kicks of like, oh man, I'm really into Westerns right now.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm really into Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
And then before it was like, I'm really into Kung Fu movies right now. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, the movie critic does not yet have the backing of a studio, though the project could be shopped around soon with Sony, who distributed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, considered early front runner, whatever. Anyway, so Tarantino's got a movie. It's called The Movie Critic, and it's going to be in the 70s, and it's going to be in fucking LA, of course, because why not? I think I don't know, he gets, like I said, he just gets on these, like,
Little kicks.
yeah.
Big city.
I kind of hope it is his last movie, because I'm not tired of his movie. I love every one of his movies, but I really hope it's his last movie so he can just, like, walk away and say, I did 10 and I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I want him to do that, you know what I mean? And just walk away. And then I want to be able to buy his whole box set with all the features and everything on it, all on, like, high-def Blu-ray.
He's not going to do it, though.
Probably not. Because he said this a few
ego
times.
is not going to
I'm pretty sure he said it like 8 movies, he was like, or before he did his 8th movie, he was like, I'm going to stop at 8. And then he's like, I'm going to stop at 9. I'm going to stop at
When
10
he did
now.
Hateful Eight, he said that was going to be his last
Yeah,
one.
so
So,
we'll see. And I love all of his movies. I'll keep watching them as long as he keeps making them, as long as they're good.
yeah.
Right.
But I think that he's the type of director, he's like, man, I don't want to be that director that gets burnt out. And
My thing is like, I don't care if he keeps making movies. Go ahead. Like, keep making movies as long as you want. Don't keep saying that it's going to be your last one, though. Because, like, the more you say it, the more annoyed I get about it. Like, if you want to keep making movies, cool. Don't keep announcing this
Yeah,
is your
right.
last
Don't
one and
keep
then
annoying
making
me.
another one.
Right, I
Like,
agree.
That's annoying as shit.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, he might have the idea of saying, this is my last one, and then something piques his interest later on. It's like,
Right.
okay, well,
But
maybe
that's
I'll try
that's my
this.
point, is that, like, if you're a creative mind and you know that, like, I mean,
Yeah.
if this is something you enjoy doing and it's your passion,
right. And you have
Yeah,
the
I think,
potential
like,
to
don't-
yeah,
don't-
I think that he's
Yeah.
the type of person that's like, but I don't want to be one of them directors that gets burnt out, washed up, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, he wants to keep,
sure.
but it's like, well, then don't. You know?
right. Well,
Like,
and my thing
if
is
you
like,
write something like, this isn't good enough to my standards, then don't fucking direct it.
yeah,
you know?
or
Yeah.
you know, here's a thought: don't keep announcing it, and then once you think you filled your quota, just stop making movies.
Right, exactly.
I mean, just stop.
I do have one more piece of news that I didn't. My sister sent me this today. I don't know if you guys watched any of the stuff on Madeleine McCann, whatever. She was that little 3-year-old that got kidnapped in Europe or whatever while vacationing with her parents, like back in like 2007.
Very little.
So what happened was the girl was kidnapped. They searched forever for her, couldn't find her. At first they thought it was the parents had something to do with it, but it turns out they didn't. So it kind of turned into like an unsolved case. And then so later on they just presumed that she was dead. Later on they found out they found a guy near Europe who was there at that time who was kidnapping and killing children. So they assumed that had to have been him. And I think they even found some evidence that linked him to that little girl and where he was that night and all this and that. So she was kidnapped back in 2007. They caught that guy, I think, just a few years ago. It's been, I don't know, maybe longer than that even. But so apparently, but there's a girl now living in, I think, Sweden, who's claiming to be this little girl, Madeleine McCann.
Oh, I did read that.
This just came out like 2 days ago or something.
Yeah.
So this girl is coming out. She's 21 apparently. But see, Madeleine McCann would only be 19 right now.
But she thinks her parents lied
But
to her.
she thinks that her parents lied to her. She said she doesn't have any pictures of her as a baby, anything like that. Her mom doesn't, you know. So and then also she's got the same eye defect. So Madeleine McCann had an eye defect right here in her right eye,
Mhm.
and it was like, I don't know, it was some weird defect in her eye. This girl has the same defect.
Yeah.
And the only difference is that she's 2 years younger than that girl would have, than Madeleine McCann would be right now. But the thing is how hard is it to lie about something like that?
Mhm.
Because
And that eye defect is only like 6% of the population or something. It's very small.
yeah, it's
very,
very
very
small.
rare.
But
Yeah.
then again, you know, at the same time, like I look at this girl and she's a little bit chunkier than you think that Madeleine McCann would have grew up to be, but because her mom and her dad both are very thin people. But I'm thinking like, well, that doesn't mean anything really.
No.
Just
She's
do
a blonde,
do a
you know,
DNA
same-
test. and find
Yeah,
out.
well, that's
I mean,
what they're doing. So
Yeah, they are.
they're taking
Okay.
they're doing tests and they're waiting on the results to come back. So
I
this
mean,
is
I
2
hope
days
it
ago.
is. I mean, that's.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it be? Like, yeah, I hope it is. Like for real,
Right.
that'd be
Yeah.
amazing to find.
I mean, those kind of stories have happened.
Hey, they have.
You know?
And I just think it would be great for something like that, like something so significant like that. We've been watching this for 15 years, and then to find out that like this little girl is
Was
okay.
kidnapped just because somebody wanted
Yeah,
a kid.
and because this girl, she says, she goes, I think I was trafficked.
Yeah.
So, and if it's true, I mean, for one, her age is wrong. She's like, well, I'm not 21. Apparently, I'm only 19.
Right.
So, but
At least she can drink
Could-
legally.
Well,
at
in
21,
Europe,
you
yeah,
can-
in Europe,
in Europe,
you-
you can't at 18.
yeah.
six,
So.
16, I think.
Oh, I don't know. I know.
It depends. It depends on where you're at.
I know in
Yeah.
Germany, it's like 16, 15, something like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
In certain places, it's like 16 for beer, but you still can't have.
Hard
liquor.
and stuff,
Liquor.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I just thought it was kind of interesting, and I'm interested to see what I really do. I hope that's the girl, and I hope that
It'd be
It turns
nice
out
to
that
see a
she's a-
story in that
yeah,
way.
because I remember watching all the documentaries and stuff and thinking like, God damn, that really sucks, man.
Could you imagine never knowing what happened to your kid? Like,
No, I
Right.
couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
And for the parents, dude, if they found out that was her, they'd be over the moon. You
Oh,
know what I
right.
mean?
Right.
So after all these years, so that'd be
I
awesome.
wouldn't be surprised if one of them went into shock.
for
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
imagine.
Well, the mom, especially the mom, was the one who was like really, really distraught
Mhm.
by the whole
I
ordeal.
mean, yeah.
Because I
After
think
that-
they had 2 kids or something like that, and she was the younger one
Mhm.
or
Oh.
something along those lines. I can't remember. But yeah, they were very. I couldn't believe like at first that they were trying to blame the parents for. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, like,
Well, that's
Do you not
usually
see
where
her
they
mom?
go.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
usually it's always
Huh?
the parents are like the first
No,
suspects,
like, dude, you not
regardless.
see her mom.
anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So
It's kind of like when a married couple, when somebody gets like murdered or whatever, they always go to the spouse first.
right, yeah,
I
they
mean,
always they're their first suspect is always the spouse.
Yeah.
I know who to go to if I find you dead one day.
Oh goodness.
What?
But that's all I got for news.
All right, so let's go straight into what have you been watching?
What the hell have you been watching?
So, Madison, how about you?
Started rewatching The Walking Dead and
Walking Dead.
She
Supernatural.
just finished it.
I think we
Hey,
we
I'm
just
almost on
talked about
season 3.
this.
I'm on the last
Yeah,
episode
this
of
sounds
season 2.
familiar.
And
I'm the only one that's like, I can't rewatch it like that, man.
I mean, I can't say anything. That's Vikings for me. So.
I mean, I've watched Game of Thrones a couple times, but like, I could never. I don't think I could go back and like.
I can't do it right away.
I definitely can't do it right away, and and for The Walking Dead, I don't think I'll ever rewatch that. I might rewatch
you
the
haven't
first
even
few.
finished watching it.
I know that's the that's the thing is
Yeah,
like
I haven't finished Walking Dead.
The
and I
last-
probably won't.
the
to
last
be honest.
episode-
I
are
probably
so
will
good, though.
eventually. I just
The last 2 seasons, like with
I know it's all on Netflix now and
it's
stuff,
so
so
good. They're good. The last season.
I don't really care.
You know, me, once I'm done, I'm done.
Are you still
Yeah.
gonna watch the
I'm
spin-offs?
done.
Huh?
Still gonna watch the spin-offs?
Except for
No, not
Scrubs.
without. I gotta finish the other stuff first. I'm gonna
Oh,
finish the others.
man.
But I'm over
Said
the
except
zombie
for
stuff.
Scrubs. You
No,
watch those?
no, I was saying like once I'm done with the show,
Hmm.
like if I've decided I'm done with it, even if it's not over, I'm probably not going back to it.
I think I'm just
done.
over the zombie craze and all that stuff. I'm just over it. I don't have any.
Isn't that what Last of Us is though?
Not well, kind of, but I think of The Last of Us as well. For one, it's a video game adaptation,
Yeah.
and for two, it's got fucking what's his face in it,
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, and
Yeah,
he's
that-
awesome.
I
'Cause
mean,
he's also-
they're
he's
kind of
also the
zombies, but
Mandalorian.
they're not. I mean, they're
And yeah,
they're-
it's this show. I mean, yeah, I know that like eventually.
Clicker.
See if you can do it.
Now it's like
Oh.
right.
I
in
took
front
a
of-
picture.
Oh man.
Smiles. It's all
I
good.
tried.
It's fine.
I pushed too hard.
Just.
I didn't flick the bean this
There's
time.
so
I just
much-
pushed.
there's so
all
much-
right?
Flick.
Look at how
It's not a
green
little
he
flick, I
is, dude. That
pushed.
green light is like on him.
I know. It looks sickly.
It does. It does. It's like a shadow. You
look
can
like
you can do
Mr.
shadow
Boogedy.
puppets behind you.
You remember Mr. Boogedy? That's what you like. The light looks like Mr. Boogedy.
That's all right.
Shadow puppets.
Shadow puppets. Anyway, yeah. So Madison, you were talking.
Sorry, we get sidetracked.
Yeah, we get
Yeah.
very
Oh,
sidetracked.
so was I.
Sorry.
And I watched more of What We Do in the Shadows with Ada. She had it on TV, so I watched it with her. It's funny, so, you know. And I watched another episode of Stranger Things again. I haven't watched its 4th season twice yet, so that's what I'm
Jesus, I haven't watched the 4th season twice yet.
Walking Dead 7,000 times and not
I
Stranger
don't.
Things.
This is only my 2nd time. I have. I've seen it multiple times. I just haven't rewatched 4th season yet.
Oh, rewatched. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I'll forgive you for that then.
And then
Calm down.
I don't.
I'll go the fuck off.
It's still
Quiet down, you little shithead.
it's still better than mhm.
Or Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama.
That was-
Sweet Home
That would have been an
Alabama.
improvement.
Yeah, I'd have liked that. I like
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner.
I I think that was all though.
yeah.
That's all you watched?
I think so. Dad, we didn't watch anything, did we? We've been up in my room for the last 3 days.
We finished Vox Machina.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
Did we?
Yes.
Karen's a referee.
I don't think we did.
Yes, we did.
Shut up, I'm in denial.
Because remember we were upset that we
Shut
had to... Or wait, did we already talk about that? We might have said that last week. I don't remember.
No, you said you were trying to.
We got through the last
watched-
3.
I think we watched the last episodes the day after that.
I think we did, yeah. I
Yeah.
think you're right. Anyway,
Yeah, that's all.
I didn't even write that down. I forgot about it.
Okay.
Well,
Karen.
we got it out of the way.
Yeah, I got it out of the way.
I watched the IT Crowd.
Good shit.
So good. The Harbinger. That's about a demon during the COVID lockdown.
Hold on a minute. That movie sounds really familiar.
What's it called?
The Harbinger.
Never mind. It's not.
It was not great. I mean, it was okay. I watched.
But it wasn't great.
It was. I mean, it was okay. It was. I guess it's worth a watch. P2. That's like a cat and mouse movie.
Yeah, I
with
know what you're
Wes
talking about.
Bentley.
Yeah.
Making Contact. This fucking movie. It was like one of Roland Emmerich's first movies. He did like Day After Tomorrow.
Your notes are so organized.
You say her nuts are so organized?
I said notes.
Cashews
Sorry,
here,
I
peanuts
speak
here,
Yeah.
almonds up there away from me.
He did some serious like big budget stuff, but like the biggest one I can think of was like Day After Tomorrow. But like it was like if you took E.T. and Poltergeist and mixed them together with a lot of like
I didn't like that movie.
toys and stuff from that time era and like
They're gonna say like porn.
no toys. And like it was really bad though.
Sounds like
Really
it.
fucking
I
bad.
didn't like E.T. either. I hated that movie as a kid.
It was boring.
It was
E.T.
boring.
is boring.
Boring.
This movie you might
Wow,
like.
of course.
I watched a movie called Intruder, and it was really good. I really liked it. It has Sam and Ted Raimi in it.
In it?
Oh
wow.
acting.
Always got E.T. and Mac and Me mixed up when I was a kid.
Really?
Always.
There's a
Always.
stark
How could
difference,
you?
dude.
I know,
Very
but I
big
always did when
difference.
I was a kid.
Mac and Me was like just a big, long 2-hour advertisement for
Rip-off.
McDonald's.
And
Right.
it was a total ripoff.
Total
yeah.
rip-off.
Why?
Fucking kid gets pushed in the
That's why his name is
wheelchair.
Mac, like a Big Mac.
Mhm. Greg Nicotero did the makeup for that movie.
For what?
Like Intruder.
Oh,
He did all
okay.
the makeup and special effects. And Bruce Campbell has a cameo as a cop. So it's very
It's weird that Sam Raimi was acting.
Yeah, it takes place in a grocery store and it's like a slasher movie, but I really liked it. And I watched There's Someone Inside Your House on Netflix. I started out really liking that and thought I was really gonna like it. It started out kind of like really I thought-
That one on Netflix?
yeah,
The
yeah,
slasher?
it sort of like had a Scream feel to it.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And then it went sideways real fast. I knew who the killer was.
I did
pretty,
too.
Pretty
Yeah.
soon.
He was the
in,
most
and-
unlikely but
Yeah,
obvious one. It's
obvious, yeah. And then it was like it just went sideways
Yeah.
for me. I was like halfway in. I'm like, yeah, this movie sucks.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of how I felt about it. Like I was able to predict the whole movie.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
pretty
about
much.
Like halfway in, I was like, "It's you,
Yep, pretty
You're
much.
the one.
I was like, okay.
daddy issues check."
Yeah, real quick. And that's it for me.
All right, Joseph, what have you been watching?
Vox Machina.
Yeah.
We
You don't
finished
think.
that. And I gotta say, man, I love that show, and
It
I'm
is so
I'm
good.
sad that I have to wait for another season.
We have to wait. How long do we have to wait?
I don't know,
A whole year?
maybe.
Why?
I don't know.
How
Tell
long do we have
them.
to wait for Stranger Things? You guys know anything?
I have no idea. I just.
You're starting to see teaser posters
I
and stuff, so that means
Yeah, but that doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean that they even started.
No, you're right.
no, it just means that they've got
Maybe I should
they're
start watching it.
taking the pictures.
never
and stuff
seen
like
Stranger
that. They're getting
Things?
together.
Yeah, they're getting ready to
Oh,
start
wait,
production
on it.
and shit.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
good that you should
Yeah.
watch it.
So I watched.
Hit 'em.
I finished. We watched part 2 of season 4 of You, and that movie or that show went off the fucking rails, man. And the second half was really good. I was like, yes, like it went bonkers.
Did he die?
Didn't you say?
No, he did not die.
Didn't you say they should have ended the series in like the second season?
They should have. That's what Karen said. Yeah.
Oh.
But like, so okay, so this season, I'm like, spoiler alert. So apparently this isn't the last
Go
season.
right ahead and spoil.
This is the last fucking
Oh,
season.
you haven't seen it yet?
I don't want to see
She
it.
doesn't want to watch it.
Oh, okay.
She
But
was
like
done after the
this,
second
I
one.
would
That
say
was done after the third.
I would
season.
say that
Done,
this
done.
season is the best season since season 1, because season 1 was the best season, but this is the best season since then, and it's really fucking good because like just whenever you think they're like, hold on, why are there so many fucking plot holes, and then out of nowhere they fill them holes for you. You're like, oh okay, so it's I don't know, the writing is really good, but
Wasn't that a book?
they were based off of books or something, yeah.
It's based off of a book.
But it's I don't know. Like the end of the season, I wanted it to end too. Like I wanted it to end. I was like, I hope this is it, you know. And I was waiting for that
Thought it was
conclusion.
supposed to be end.
I thought it was too, but
Is
I
it
saw an
not?
interview.
See, and that's exactly why
I saw an
fuck
interview
that
on with
shit.
him where he's like, "Yeah, I'm contractually obligated to 6 seasons." I'm like, 6 seasons? I was like, I thought you were done at 4, dude. Like, what the hell? So they must have renegotiated some shit or something, and he's in there for 2 more seasons. I'm just like, all right, well, I guess I'm in this for the long haul. We watched, I finished The Last of Us, which the season finale was just on.
I'm planning on starting
Someday.
watching that too. I
So
still
good,
haven't.
man. It's such a good show. It didn't end like I thought it would end. So
Isn't there a second season coming out?
yeah, there's gonna be another season.
Yeah.
Don't you spoil it.
I'm not spoiling shit, man. I'm not gonna say nothing. All I gotta say is it was a really, really good show. It's on HBO Max, dude. Watch it. Quit
Yeah.
watching your Vikings for the 4th time and you can watch that instead.
Yeah, Jeremiah told me that if you said a spoiler, he quits.
I'm not gonna give anything away, I promise. No, I'm not giving anything away. We watched
I might surprise you.
Dragon Ball Superhero came out on Blu-ray, and we had that pre-order, so we got that, and me and Jackson, my youngest, we watched that because he's a big Dragon Ball Super fucking nutcase. He loves the shit.
I mean,
so.
I can't go wrong with Dragon
No,
Ball.
not at all. And I love watching it with him. So we
You know
sat
how many
down.
times we watched Broly?
I know, yeah, I know.
Like 30 times.
Yeah, we've seen Broly so
Hands
many
down.
times. He can quote most of the movie.
I've watched it like once.
Yeah. So we watched that Friday night. Me and him did, and it's not as good as Broly, but I still love it. Actually, if you guys want to check it out, Madison and Jackson are doing a small podcast for whose YouTube?
I don't know.
Is it for yours or
I
his
don't
or
know. I really don't.
no? You don't know?
Nope.
Okay. Well, they're doing a small podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for because Jackson's been bugging. He wants to do a
Since I
podcast with her
started mine.
about Dragon Ball Super. So she finally broke down, watched the movie. They took notes, and they're going to do the podcast tomorrow, actually. So that'll be interesting. I'll be watching
I know I was
that.
supposed to do something tomorrow.
I want to.
Now
You want to
know.
watch it too?
Yeah.
You've done like I've never seen the movie, but I'll watch it.
I will.
And then last I watched Bert Kreischer.
Kreischer.
He has a new Netflix special out called Razzle Dazzle. And
I want to watch just
No,
based
just-
on the
just the
title.
name of it.
dude, I put it on last night. I was like, I've seen some of his stuff, and I knew who he was because he's got that movie coming out called The Machine.
Mhm.
And I put it on, dude. I was fucking rolling, dude. I don't laugh that hard at like stand-up comedians and shit. Ask Crystal, dude. I was fucking losing it, dude.
Yeah,
He
I
was
laughed
cracking
last
my
night, and
ass the
I looked
fuck
at the
up.
TV and I was like, "Why is he shirtless?"
Yeah.
He was like, he was smiling, and our dad was smiling and everything, and he was like, "That's just how he does it."
I love, dude. It was so fucking funny. And,
Razzle dazzle, huh?
and I love it because like he's not a comedian. He's one of them-
Seeing that cat T-shirt with
Razzle
the give him the old razzle dazzle, and it's a cat asshole.
That's what he said. Give me the old razzle dazzle. So I love his shit because like he doesn't get political or racial, none of that. His shit is about like being a dad and just other shit in life, like
Yeah.
his wife and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he doesn't talk politics or anything stupid like that. And dude, I can't. Just some of this, like, just watch it. It's only an hour long. It's on Netflix. It's fucking amazing, dude. I was like,
I'll
I was
check it out.
rolling.
You should have told me.
That's
about
probably
it.
one of the best stand-ups I've seen in a long time. I was rolling, dude.
I would have watched it while I was giving the dogs a bath earlier. If
To-
you would have told me about it.
Oh yeah, it's fucking hilarious, man. Definitely go home and watch that. Like it's an hour. You can't
Okay.
beat it. It's fucking hilarious, dude. But yeah, that's. I think that's all I watched this week, as far as I can remember.
Okay. Well, I've been watching Vikings.
You don't say.
It's funny that we recommend all these things to him every week, and he comes back, "Men watching Vikings."
I've been, and then I watched the Magnificent Seven.
Oh, that was an alright movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a pretty good one.
The one with
Chris
Sounds
Pratt.
Chris
a lot
Pratt
like
and-
Fantastic
yeah.
Four.
Huh?
Sounds a lot like Fantastic Four.
it's a
Oh.
western.
Yeah, it's a western.
No,
It's funny though.
It's good. It's not bad.
I
Yeah.
don't like Western
It's a
movies.
good action comedy with Chris Pratt. Was it
With kind of a sad
Denzel?
ending.
Was it Denzel in there?
Yeah, Denzel
Denzel's
Washington.
in there.
Which is weird because he doesn't do too many. Like this is that was definitely a cash grab for him. Like
yeah,
it was just weird. seeing
You know,
him in there.
Denzel actually spelled, or his name's actually pronounced Denzel.
Denzel. I'm gonna start calling him Desi.
yeah,
That's fine.
Denzi.
I didn't believe it either.
and
Sounds like something that his mom would call. Oh, Denzel's.
I
Yeah,
started
I heard him say
watching.
his own name, and I was like, it blew my mind.
I started watching The Last of Us today.
Did you?
Joseph,
How many episodes?
I'm
Just
in
one?
the first one.
Just one.
Yeah, he said
Guess I gotta
started
watch it now too.
It's good.
It is good.
Not hating
No,
on
the
it. It's
first
good.
the first episode it pulls you in.
It is very
It
like there's
really
certain
does.
parts
Oh,
of
Pedro
the
Pascal's really good. I really
Yeah.
like him a lot. So.
there's
your-
certain parts of
pulls
the
your-
show where like it's really pretty. Like there are some pretty like
There was
colorful
this-
areas of the show and
See, I've never played the game, so like
No
I wasn't.
spoilers.
I'm not expecting
No, no, no,
anything,
no.
and like that.
I don't
beginning-
care about the game.
beginning. is
Like,
like,
No, there-
fuck.
there was
I
this
just
edit
if
that
you
was
pull me
going
in with a
around
good show, dude,
TikTok
I'm
that
watching. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck about no game or source
whatever's
material.
Pascal.
I want to know
Pascal.
whatever I'm
Pascal.
watching is original
And
content
it
to me,
went
so I'm gonna watch
viral,
that.
Like
Yeah.
everybody was like me whenever like Pedro Pascal, and then it had like the like hot sign, and then it was like
Oh.
that edit, and I was like, oh my god, kids are so horny. Why?
It's funny because I saw an interview with Pedro Pascal, and they're like,
I don't think
and it was
he's
like a lie.
attractive,
It was a
really.
lie detector test, and it was like they're like, do you think of yourself as a heartthrob? And he said no. He's like, you're lying. He's like, and he starts laughing. He's like, yes, I do. And I was like, really, dude? Like,
I don't
and
really think-
apparently he is a heartthrob to some people. I'm like, I don't see it.
I don't either.
I
really
love
don't.
him. Like, I think he's great, but I don't see him as like a heartthrob.
Now, you know, this is really random, I guess, but like maybe if I saw him, I really, because I've seen him in movies and stuff. So
Seen him
I
in,
don't-
I've seen him in all kinds of
yeah,
stuff.
I don't see it. But I'll tell you, the whole like Ted Bundy thing, how everybody was like, oh yeah, Ted Bundy's hot. He's so hot, and
Oh
you know,
my-
like he's so pretty,
I
and
remember that.
you know, like how everybody was like, oh, you know, that's how he got people to get in his car and blah blah blah. I only ever saw pictures when I would read about him and stuff, and I was always like, I don't get it.
I never
I would
got it
not-
either.
I thought
Now,
people-
No,
Zac Efron
no,
as
no, wait, time out. I saw the court videos of him in action in the court, like the live videos of actually Ted Bundy in action in court. And I was watching it, and I was watching him talk to all these people and everything, and I was like, I would have gotten the car.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you watch him in action, and you're like, I'd have gotten the car. Yeah, because Zac
I get
Efron nails it.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
agree.
like
yeah.
Tate, the person who plays Tate in American Horror Story.
No.
Who?
That's
That's
Dahmer. That's
the-
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, I know. That's everybody was obsessing over him.
Yeah.
Whenever that came out.
Yeah.
And everybody was going around saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, you guys
See,
are so
that's what I was
screwed up and
talking about.
everything."
Oh,
And I
you're
was like,
talking. You're
no.
talking about Evan Peters.
Yeah.
Evan
Remember, that's
Peters.
what I was talking about. How he sexualized Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah,
in that,
right.
You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. We
And-
talked about
And
that
Jeffrey
on the
Dahmer in
podcast
real
a
life
couple
was
of
not an
times, and I
attractive
was-
dude.
And I was
Huh?
like,
Jeffrey Dahmer in real life was not an attractive
No,
dude.
he
No.
wasn't.
I was talking about that on the podcast about how I thought that it was wrong how
I
sexualized
understand.
they made Jeffrey.
But I
Dahmer.
also-
That was
I also
the
think that,
Matrix
like-
podcast.
yeah, one of the I don't
Pretty
remember.
sure it
what-
was the Matrix. I was listening to the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
today.
I remember because I mean I think Evan Peters is an attractive.
he
dude.
is.
and he killed it as Dahmer. I mean,
He,
he
I'm
did a
sure.
great
Yeah,
job.
job.
I'm not saying he.
But yeah, I
did-
understand what you're saying. Like
They shouldn't.
he's all ripped and oiled up and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is
the
this?
only
Like,
thing they were missing was the fan blowing
Yeah,
on
like-
him, like you know, like you know, him
Imagine
coming out,
my beard
coming out of
blowing
the
in the wind.
ocean, you know,
Yeah.
like,
his shirt's
easy
down off the
breezy,
shoulders. She's just
beautiful.
like,
yeah, that was the only thing they were missing. Dahmer, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Dahmer for men.
Take the glasses off.
Yeah, but anyway, that was my take on Ted Bundy. Not attractive in pictures, but see him in action.
That's not the same thing for Dahmer, though. You see him in action. He's just a very.
Either way, Dahmer is not
Awkward.
attractive.
Yeah, he's not attractive
Mm-mm.
anyway. So
Mm-mm, no. Nope. Now, the best one that I've ever seen in action to play Dahmer was Jeremy Renner. He was
Yeah.
very good.
Did a very good job.
Mhm.
Yep.
Anyway, that was so off topic, but I just had to go there.
She went there.
I went there.
She went to the ocean with Jeffrey Dahmer.
I did. And we filmed a cologne commercial,
Cologne
apparently.
Were
For men.
you both riding on a
men.
unicorn along the beach,
Yeah.
riding the rainbow?
Well, he was that way.
He was definitely riding that rainbow.
Yeah.
You sure it was a unicorn horn?
Oh no! Oh no!
Maybe.
That's
Whoa!
something.
All right.
Whoa!
Let's get
Still wasn't
into
as bad as the Smurf thing, though.
Yeah.
a little razzle
We
dazzle.
started out.
They
real-
razzle dazzled all over the wall. What are you talking about?
We started out
What
real
was that-
strong with
what
the
was that cat's
Smurfs.
name on the Smurfs?
Yeah.
Huh?
What was the cat's name on Smurfs?
Oh, shit. What
there
was his name?
There was a cat.
There was a cat. It was
Gar-
Gargamel's dog.
Gargamel.
Gargamel. It was Gargamel was the
Gargamel.
wizard,
Gargamel was the.
and then his cat's name was like something weird. I don't remember his name.
That's gonna bug me.
Like I think it was like
Well,
A-
she's-
Azazel
when we
or
got
something
on
like
the
that, or-
subject of razzle dazzle. I was like, was razzle dazzle?
Azriel. Azriel?
No.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Azriel.
That
No,
sounds
that-
about right.
no,
I
that's,
feel like that. No.
that.
No.
No, that's a demon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
The cat was a demon.
the cat was kind of a demon.
Okay.
Oh, she's right, Azrael.
Azrael.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Named after a demon.
that's fucked.
All right.
That's fucked. We don't watch that a cartoon.
And his name was Gargamel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making
yeah,
sure.
yeah, no, we got that right.
Okay, I didn't know. I was like making sure I wasn't being an idiot. So.
No, we totally got that one. Okay.
All right, so let's go and
Let's talk about the movie.
So we were talking about Annihilation today. Made in 2018, runtime.
Well, he's getting there. He's getting there.
Shut up.
Chill,
Oh,
Karen.
yeah.
Yeah, we do this
runtime is
first.
An hour and
I gave you so much shit last
An
week
hour.
too.
an hour and 55 minutes.
It was
It's
too
rated
long.
R. So
Yep.
the synopsis of the movie was a biologist signs up for a dangerous secret expedition into a mysterious zone where the laws of nature don't apply.
It's because I'm not used to somebody else
Okay.
actually doing their
So,
job.
The
I always have to do
starring
the
Fuck you.
synopsis. Not you.
starring Natalie Portman as Lena, Oscar Isaac as Kane, Jennifer Jason Leigh as Dr. Ventress, Gina Rodriguez as Anya, Tessa Thompson as Josie, and Tuva Navantini as
Navatini?
Cass. Yeah, I can't say the last
Novotny?
name. As Cass Shepard. So, what do you guys think?
Would you
Oh
watch
my
again?
God.
Would you watch again?
There you go.
Shut up.
I think-
hosting. I will switch it all up.
Who wants to go first?
I would not watch again.
No.
No.
I recommend to watch it at least once, but I wouldn't watch it again. No.
It's kind of like Mathagan.
Mithragan?
Yeah.
No, because I wouldn't even recommend people watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's true. No, I would recommend at least a watch, but no, I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah. Madison.
I think I'd skip like halfway through the movie and then maybe watch it again.
Yeah, first
But not by
part's
myself.
kind of
Kind of slow,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't watch it by myself though. I'd have someone else watch it with me because maybe they can make more sense of it than I can.
I would totally watch it again. I thought it was a great movie. And I would definitely recommend it to people. It was a lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So, like, I knew it was. I had heard it was a good movie. So, like, going into it, I was like, it can't be that bad, you know. And then I would watch it. It was like, we're getting into all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would totally watch it again.
Would I watch again? Yeah, I'd probably watch it again, but it wouldn't be anytime soon. It would be way down the road, probably. Give it a watch in a year or two later on. But I mean, it was an okay movie to my eyes. So, all right. So let's
I think they
Talk
should make
about
a
the
movie about
movie.
the bear.
About the bear.
about the bear.
About the bear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will say that bear.
That bear freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah.
That was one of
When
the
that
scariest
guy's
moments.
screaming,
Yeah,
the
screaming,
minute
was
he-
one of the freakiest
that was
mimicking
fucked.
the
Yeah.
screams. That was fucked up.
Yeah, that was
It
one of the scariest moments
especially,
of the
like right
of the
in their
movie.
faces.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
That was
Can
freaky.
you imagine that shit?
Yeah.
Holy
No, I don't.
That was
know
pretty
how they
wild, dude.
got
Whenever that happened, I was like, the bear, though. That thing is like creepy
That's
as
fucking
fuck.
awesome. Yeah, that's
So-
like the best
I
part of the
wanna-
movie.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
absolutely the best
Yeah.
part. When that bear come in and like opened its mouth and that was where it was coming from, I was like,
Like here, my thought was like, okay, you see the bears like tears their throat out. It's like, okay, so is he like swallowing their vocal cords and just mimicking them?
But it's so weird. No, well, I think
they
what
explained
happened. Did they?
Yeah, his like the DNA.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
They mimic
Yeah.
the DNA or whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay, so my thing with the bear, for one, whenever it jumps up and gets that girl in the night, that was pretty cool. But whenever it kills, Gina Davis's character,
Yeah.
Gina
Dude.
Davis.
or Gina Davis,
Gina-
Gina Rodriguez.
I was gonna ask,
Yeah,
but
not
yeah.
Gina Davis. This
I
movie
didn't
would've
know
been a
she
whole-
was in that.
This movie would have been way better if Gina Davis was
I
in
didn't know
it.
she was in it.
So Gina Rodriguez, I almost said it again. Rodriguez was in this, and dude, whenever she died, for one, I hated her arc right before she died.
Yeah, that
what
didn't make
was
any
that?
sense.
It didn't
to
make
me. I
any sense.
actually
Like
had
she
notes
just
about that.
automatically just started losing her shit, and I'm like, why?
The only
Okay,
thing
bye.
about it that made any sense at all was that they did mention that either people go crazy or whatever. So, like, I guess she was the one that goes crazy.
Yeah,
But I don't know. It was kind of random.
it was kind of random and dumb. And
Yeah.
I thought it was like a dumb way to. And okay, so one thing that me and Madison were doing while we were watching this movie is I was pointing out who was gonna die first because I knew who was gonna die in what order
Mhm.
for the most part.
Yeah.
And I knew that the one lady was gonna die because she was the only other white woman there, other than the main character and the doctor lady. Like, yeah, she's just a fucking throwaway character. She's dying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So especially after the conversation that with them between her and the main character in the tower,
Oh yeah.
like whenever they came down and they're like, "Hey, we heard something," blah blah blah. It's like, oh, she's about to die. 'Cause
Yeah.
they just had a
You're
like
done for.
intimate moment.
Yeah.
She's dead. You know, so you can always call that shit out.
Mhm.
And then I was like, so the next one to go is either, I don't even remember their fucking names. Gina Rodriguez or the other girl. I was like, okay, so yeah, blah, blah, blah. So, and then you saw what order they went in. But I just think that the bear was cool. The alligator could have been way cooler.
Oh yeah.
Way cooler. But I do like the explanation for a lot of what is going on.
Yeah.
I think scientifically it
There was
sounds pretty
nothing
I
awesome.
don't
wrong.
remember what happened to the doctor. Like, did she just walk away and like disappear? Or...
She like blew up or something.
She like went down in
Like,
that
she
hole
turned
at the
into that
end.
liquid.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then
okay,
she like
yeah,
turned into
yeah,
light or
yeah,
something.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was weird.
Oh, I want to say something about that scene. That scene reminded me of the TMNT movie. Like whenever at the end he like turns
Oh, he
into
turns
dust
into
and, like
light.
he's like, I think I got some of them
Oh,
in my mouth.
So I want to talk about that because the one thing I was saying, like, they are just full of making bad decisions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, why
Yeah.
the fuck are you? So you want to go to the lighthouse? Okay, understandable.
Why
are
would
you going in the hole?
Yeah.
Why would you go
thought
in the
same
hole?
thing,
She
too.
had the phosphorus grenades. Why didn't she just throw it in the hole and be
Do
like, okay, I'm
something.
done?
Like, why would you just go in the hole? Like,
Well, one of my first notes was Eric was right. Somebody watched Evolution and thought, what if we make this terrifying?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
That's
plant
pretty
life,
much what it
like,
was.
even the plant life in this movie, like the tumor stuff,
yeah.
they
Oh,
they
yeah.
kind of look like the plants in Evolution.
No, they look like The Last of Us.
Yeah.
They looked like they just
Yeah.
came right out of
Well,
the
I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
seen
like
The Last
they-
of Us,
they
but
took
like
spills
in
from The Last of Us.
Evolution, the only difference was in Evolution they were circular
Yeah.
and they looked more like flowers, but they were that colorful and they were growing in sort of those same patterns.
It was-
So it reminded me of The Last of Us, like that one scene where they go down into the pool, and that dude is still there, and he's like
Mhm.
grown into like this sort of like
Yeah.
fungus.
I
That
thought-
is The Last of Us.
I thought that kind of stuff was really interesting to show how the people who have gone in before them, how they've been integrated
into the ecosystem
Mhm.
almost. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
pretty cool, and I think a lot of that stuff was pretty. Like, I love that, like how she explained how the flowers were all of the same branch and vine, but they were all of different species.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's really awesome, actually. And then she said the same thing for the alligator, and I thought for sure that mouth is coming down, like
Yeah.
at some
Right.
point or something. But-
Somebody's losing a finger.
Yeah. so I just thought, like, what, just some of the stuff that goes on, like, I thought that was pretty awesome, though, like the alligator explanation for the flowers and all that stuff. I think that the science behind this, the whole idea of this movie was really, really cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty neat. So
There
I
were
thought-
two things that. Oh, go ahead.
I thought that one girl was going to die right off the bat with the alligator. I was like, oh, she's the first one to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was glad
That
she
was
didn't.
too simple.
Yeah.
There were two things that happened like right at the beginning, like when they first got to when her husband and everything, when they first got to that place, it kind of threw me off like really bad. So first of all, in a place like that, you expect that the military is probably going to be in charge, right?
Oh yeah,
Right.
But instead, you've got a psychologist.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
She doesn't really seem
Doctors and
qualified.
scientists.
Yeah,
to,
I was like, how is a psychologist in charge of what's going on?
she
here?
doesn't really seem qualified to be
Yeah.
handling something like that.
I didn't understand it either. I didn't get like
that-
why is the psychologist in
Yeah.
charge?
That threw me off. And then second was when they go into the room where her husband is, right? And he's in like this tent thing. And they're all wearing suits.
but they just let her go in there.
And they just let her walk around.
Yeah.
Like if he's got something, she's got it too.
Yeah, exactly.
And so do those paramedics
Yeah.
that were working on him. So you know what I'm
They
saying?
There's
don't-
no quarantine.
Yeah,
really.
No,
there's-
like they
Yeah.
quarantine him, but everybody else is just allowed to walk around. Like those two things bugged
Yeah.
the shit out of me, and I'm like, somebody ain't doing their
Well,
job.
you know, I
And
mean,
then
if they
that
were,
part where she just walks us into his
yeah, she just
bedroom,
walks right in.
and that guard is passed out like sleeping. I'm like,
Yeah, in his
that
biohazard
guard
suit.
would not do that.
Yeah,
No.
in
They
his
would be-
biohazard suit. You
they'd be
know?
court
Especially if it
martial
was
for
the
sure.
military.
Yeah,
Yeah, but there wasn't very much military there. That's the
that's,
thing.
yeah, that's
And-
the weird part.
You know, if this were like real life, so to speak, like the military would be handling all of that,
Yes.
and nobody would be allowed in without like DEFCON 30 level clearance. You know, there's just no way.
Especially a biologist. Some random biologist.
They don't really explain how the dude got from
they said they're
quarantine.
volunteers.
to the house. Like he says, I
just
was
woke up
there
out
and then I was here. And I was like, how does that work?
Right.
They don't explain
How
it.
did
They
he
just
get
kind of like
home?
chalk it up as like
He's an
he's
alien.
there now. You
he's
know,
an alien now, so I guess you can just fly. I guess
that was another thing at the end. I was like, it was kind of ambiguous. Like it's a very ambiguous ending. I'm like,
Yeah.
they could have just left it open ended, kind of. You know,
I have an explanation, I think, or at least
I was
my
very- well, I
my
was-
interpretation of it. I guess.
Yeah, I was
but
very confused because I want to talk about the end, man. Like, because it is very confusing to me. I'm like, so she fights her essential mirrored
Mirror
self.
Her face stealer.
Yeah, and like so she kills it, and then she leaves, but she still is an alien, and she still has the tattoo on her arm.
She had the
So-
tattoo on her arm to begin with.
no, she
No,
didn't.
she didn't.
Not
Yeah,
Because
I saw
that was
earlier
Gina
on-
Rodriguez's
Not
tattoo.
before. Not
Are you
before.
for
She,
real?
Yes.
Yeah, not before.
That's
she
why I
went,
was confused. I was
not
like,
before
what is
she went into the shimmer.
Yeah, she didn't have it.
Mm-mm.
She didn't get it
Oh.
until like whenever she battled her mirrored self. Like
I knew
was
I
like,
saw somebody with that tattoo.
Yeah.
I thought it was her.
yeah, it was Gina Rodriguez's
Yeah.
character because I remember seeing it. Because I remember,
Remember, you go in and like everything starts to integrate.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, so she's carrying essentially pieces of everyone.
Well,
Yeah.
they
That's what
they
she
say
took
when
out
you
with
enter
her.
the shimmer, your body starts changing regardless. So
Mhm.
coming out
Okay,
of it,
so that makes sense. So she got the tattoo from
Her from
her
Gina.
friends.
yeah,
essentially.
she
Okay,
she
so-
starts changing in the shimmer.
because they start to integrate
biologically.
together.
Yeah.
So their
Like
biology, yeah,
Good
Hey.
job.
kind of blurry. I think I don't know. I can't tell.
I can't tell.
It
It's
looks okay
always
to me.
blurry to me.
That's what I say about my penis.
Oh.
Aw. That was so uncalled for. So
You know, it's been so long since I've seen it.
since I can't quite remember how I interpreted this, I'm just gonna read what I wrote.
Kara's like, so anyway.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep us on track here, I guess.
Madison earmuffs.
Yeah, earmuffs.
People say that all the time.
We
and
should get her a
they
pair of
don't do
earmuffs.
anything about it.
Here, put these on.
We got
We can
something to say.
brand them too,
Shush.
like put bonsais on each side.
Put an M on the top.
Yeah.
Madison.
No, I feel like an alien then. Kind of YouTubing or something.
Oh, God. Poor girl.
All right.
So I wrote,
Anyway.
self-destruction seems to be the central theme in this movie.
Yeah.
So, the environment is changed at a cellular level, and species, ecosystems, homes, they're all being destroyed. So that's why she wants to continue to the lighthouse when others want to turn back. So Lena is not an alien, but she isn't, the same woman who entered the Shimmer, obviously.
Right.
So just like the alien life form, she wants to create and change this life that she came back to with her new husband, even though she knows it's not the husband, it's not really her husband.
Right.
So she wants to create something new, sort of her chance at redemption with her husband because, she cheated on him. There was that whole thing.
Yeah.
With their life together, second chance.
Which I thought didn't need to be there.
Yeah, they
No,
didn't
that
need
was
to
sort of
bring
a
that in there.
stupid.
Yeah,
sign.
I didn't think that
It's
it was.
like-
I thought it was kind of unnecessary because I'm looking at this lady like I understand that like it's okay to show flaws in people, but like in this case, I just thought it was kind of like something that was like
It didn't need to
shoehorned
be
in there
added.
for no reason. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I think it was just a way to show the bad side of her so that you could have this ending.
or either that or to show that like their marriage wasn't perfect. You
Sure.
don't want
And
you don't
that's
want
why
them
that guy went
Well,
in there.
and that's what I'm saying. It had
that was the
you had to
only
have a
good
reason for
explanation
him
for
to
that.
go in there.
because
you had to have a
she
reason
even
for
said I
this.
think he knew, and they're like, do you think that that's why he went in?
Mhm.
You know, and I'm like, that's not a good reason though.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
not
So, like, essentially, she had to destroy her mirror self in order to be reborn,
right.
come out, and now she's trying to create the life that she, realized she really wanted
with an alien.
the first time around with her husband, even though that's not really her husband.
Right.
That's how I interpret
So
the
you
ending.
you don't think you think that it's really her?
Yeah.
I don't. Because at the end, her eyes glowed the same color as his.
Sure,
Yeah,
but,
but
that,
that-
but
like
she
I said,
took it
that's
out.
why-
She took it out of the shimmer that way.
Yeah.
It's her.
So who's to say that he isn't him?
It's absolutely not him. You saw him blow himself up.
Yeah, but he was talking to himself whenever that happened.
His mirror self. He was far too human.
Oh, that's right. Because I don't know.
He was
his
far,
mind was gone.
He was far too human because he kept saying, Lena, tell Lena this and tell Lena. He was the person that blew up was far too human for him to have been the mirror.
But I do have a question. Where the hell did that southern accent come from?
Yes, I wrote that down too. He didn't have a southern accent before.
So that's another question that like
it's
Joseph
southern.
brought up is, are we sure that's really him, or is that the mirror self? 'Cause
That's the
this-
mirror self, I think.
Well, that's where I'm saying the southern accent is the one that got blown up.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's
never
kind of
mind.
like,
Yep, that's
could
point-
that
that's
be
a good
the
point.
mirror self?
No,
that
the
blew
mirror
himself?
self was far too. The mirror self.
That's what
It's
I'm
far
saying
too
though. Because
cold.
like so.
No,
well,
I'm
if you think
telling
about
you.
it though, whenever they mirrored themselves, they were copying each other. So who's to say that he wasn't over there saying exactly what
Well,
his regular self would have been saying?
No, the
in that
mirror.
situation?
The mirror
here's the
person
thing,
was
though.
too cold. Like they were just too cold about
They
everything.
look, their eyes look dead and everything. They look like they.
The guy who blew up, the guy who blew himself up, was way too emotional, in all the right ways. He was human.
So okay, so answer me this because so what happened was she blew it up, the thing went away, the shimmer went away, and everything went away with it, like all the mutated things, everything died with it. Why didn't they? If they're not human, why didn't they die too?
That's a great question.
Especially her, since she was inside, and then but also him.
I thought like if she was human, that's what I was thinking last night because she came back. And
This is
like,
why I was
okay,
confused
so
at the
she's
end.
not-
I'm like,
and then
so
she was
is
like,
it them or
where's
is it not them?
Maybe the pieces that are inside living organisms still live. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, maybe I don't know.
so the
man.
bear lived.
No,
well,
like,
yeah, the bear got killed, but
yeah, like I
This
don't
is
know. That's
why-
not even a very good
Terrified of the
explanation.
bear
But
live.
see, this is why I wouldn't watch it again. This is why I didn't.
I thought you said you would watch it.
No. I
Well, the thing
wouldn't.
about this is the only thing that I
okay.
didn't like about the movie is that I didn't like how ambiguous the ending was.
I
It's
don't
like, why would you leave it
I don't-
open like that to where
I-
we're like, what the fuck? You know what I
I
mean?
don't like movies that I have to try to figure out.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I hate
understand. That's what I'm
science.
saying.
Yeah, I don't like because I feel like again, we've talked about this several times,
Yeah.
but again, I don't like it when you try to throw something out there and go, "Well, what do you think the ending meant?" You're wrong.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I hate that shit. I can't stand that shit. That's the only issue that I have with this movie. And so, like, if the director
But
or the
it's
writer,
a big issue because it's
Yeah.
99% of it.
yeah, well,
Like,
if the
that's-
director or the writer comes out and says, like, hey, this is what the ending means, I'm like, okay, I'm going with that because you made the motherfucker.
Sure, but
So-
but if they have to tell me what it meant
I get
after
that.
I watched it, like I'm over it.
Right. But one of the things that really grabbed me about this movie is, and I've said this 100 times, the visuals, man.
Sure, the visuals I really like.
Not
the,
only-
the
not-
bear thing and the slithering intestines, like all of that stuff.
Well,
all
I'm
of
not even
those-
saying just that, but I'm like
Yeah,
all the
the
vibrant
cinematics,
colors
too.
and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
even the cinematography, dude. Like
Yeah.
that first shot of her house, it's just
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah, the colors,
It's gorgeous.
color
Yeah.
schemes.
Yeah,
of that
it's
was-
everything's gorgeous.
Well, and did you notice that when they were in the shimmer, that house that they were trying to take like refuge in, like when they walked in there, I was like, oh, that looks familiar, and I thought that she was gonna walk in and be like, I'm home, but she never did. And then like when I was reading the trivia, it said that that was like the mirror image of her house, but nobody ever mentioned it. Like, but I thought they were going to, and nobody ever mentioned it.
Mm.
But I did notice it. Like when they walked in, I was like, "That's her house."
I didn't even pay any attention.
Neither
Yeah,
did
nobody ever.
I never know. I never
Yeah,
put it
it's
together.
their house. Like if you
Huh.
when you walk in, there's a stairway just like it was at their house. The kitchen is just like their kitchen.
Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it?
Yeah, and
now that
then
I'm
you
thinking
go
about
like
it.
if you go in the living room, those shelves the way
Mhm.
they were, everything.
Yeah, everything. You're right. It is all the
And,
same.
Yeah, it's all the same.
The bedroom or the living or whatever is right to the left.
Yep.
And then okay.
There's subtle differences. You know, like the shelving that's in the living room isn't the same because
Right.
they had a fireplace and stuff like. But the layout and then those kind of like gingerbread things that go into the dining room, that was the same. The kitchen was exactly the same. The stairway was the
Huh.
same.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. I wasn't even paying any attention to that.
Yeah.
I was more focused on the bear that was trying to eat them.
Well, this
Right.
was when they first walked in, like when
Right.
they were going in to take refuge. I was like, "Oh, this is familiar," and then like nobody mentioned it. I was
So I
like,
was like, apparently it's not a plot point.
"Yeah, that's yeah." I was like, "Oh, so okay, that's just me, I guess." But yeah, there was a lot of things to like. I just overall didn't.
I thought like the gore and stuff was.
Sure, I mean it was
amazing.
It was
Yeah,
it was
good. It was
perfectly
right
where it
it was
needed to
perfectly
be, in my
done.
opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved that slithering like intestine
That was
thing.
so wild.
That was neat. That was neat as
I want to
shit.
get to that. Am I the only one that laughed at that?
I thought it was like a snake.
the only thing I thought of was he got hot snakes.
Uh,
I thought it was cool. I thought it was a nice visual, and it was one of those
I
things like,
thought it
holy
was
shit.
yeah, I thought it was one of those moments in the plot where I mean, if you were somebody that went into the Shimmer and you're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, and you watch that video and you're like, shit just got real.
Oh.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What did I get myself into?
Yep.
Like whenever she was like, I can see my fingerprints moving. If you cut me, like, tie me down and cut me open, like, are you gonna see my intestines?
Yeah, are my insides
too?
moving too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but she lost it way too fast. It was like 1 minute she's like looking at
Fine.
her hands
You
and
get
then
away
doing
from
this,
me.
and then the next minute she's just going nuts. I'm
Yeah.
like, so just
I've
that
never
fast,
seen
huh?
Gina Rodriguez like crazy like that before. I've only ever seen her in Jane the Virgin, and I saw a romance movie with Ada. I think it was a romance movie. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying much attention.
Yeah, she doesn't
But it was,
normally
like,
do movies
called
like this.
Somebody something.
No,
It
neither
was-
does Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman will do whatever she feels is like good for like she's up for a challenge. This is why I like Natalie Portman because what college she went to Harvard or something, did she? Harvard, and she's a super smart woman, and but I love her because she's a great actress and she does a great like she did Black Swan. Hell, she's been acting since she was a kid.
This and Black Swan's the only horror she's ever done.
Right. Well, I'm saying like she does movies that I think challenge her.
She wanted to
And-
work with the directors of Black Swan in this movie. That's the only reason she did.
Is
She
that
doesn't.
why?
She doesn't typically want to do horror.
I don't blame her.
I know that much.
Yeah, I don't blame her because I know she sticks to what I think she
Does best.
does best in that. But the only thing I could say that I like, which I had mad respect for her for, she did the Thor movies and she was
Yeah.
just kind of like against it. You know what I mean? Like she's like, I didn't want to be part of that whole MCU bullshit, you know? And then they brought her back for whenever she came back for Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm like, is she selling out again or what's she doing?
She died.
So, but she did die in the movie, but
Yeah.
it's still though, I'm like, you know, maybe that was her way of saying, look, I'll do this and then I'm done.
But like, you got to get me out of it. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to die in the movie.
Yeah.
So
So like, would you guys go in there?
I don't think I would. I'm not that curious, man.
Yeah, I don't think I
Not
have the
that
motivation
curious.
To do that.
I would.
You
Oh.
would?
I'm too curious.
Knowing that everybody who's gone in hasn't come out?
I would
And
probably,
you have
I would
kids
like
at home
poke
waiting
my
for
head
you?
in, look, and they're like, okay, I
But
see.
Good enough for
not-
me.
Not like
Oh.
in my current life, but
Oh.
like
I can actually
yeah,
say I went in and came back.
I would.
If I didn't have anybody
wouldn't.
left,
Not
probably.
like in my life now, but like if I was like a single chick or whatever,
Didn't
yeah,
have anything
I'd
to
do
live
it.
for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I didn't have anything going
Not
on.
me. I'm
I'd do
good.
it.
I'm
If I
not
didn't
that
have anything to
curious.
live for, I'd go in there.
I am.
mean, what
I'd
else
send
would
other
I
people like,
do?
you go on in there, come back out, and you tell me what it's like. Where they
See?
don't come back, I'll like, who's next?
Who's next?
Anybody else notice how like spaced out the psychiatrist was, even at the beginning?
Yeah.
Like she's just
I
very
thought she was high
spaced
at
out.
first.
You
That's
know,
just
drunk.
her.
I was gonna say
That's
Jennifer
just her.
Jason Lee. Everything I've ever seen her
She's
in.
always acting
Don't
like
get me
that.
wrong, she's a good actress, but she always plays every character the same way.
Yeah.
Like she's drunk.
That's what Madison goes, she acts drunk. I was like, oh, that's just Jennifer Jason Lee. It's like, that's just how she
Mhm.
acts. I was like, what? She
You
was
should
in-
watch Single White Female.
Yeah, because she was also in Hateful Eight, and she was in Breakfast Club, right?
No, that's
No.
Hallie Sheedy.
I never. I always think it's
yeah.
her. But yeah. Or wait, no. Who am I thinking? What else has she been in? She's been in other shit.
Yeah,
generally,
she's been in, she was in, was the one I just fucking watched, Existence.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Um,
I don't know, but I just know that like that's just how she always acts. Like that's how she acts in.
Dolores Claiborne's probably the best acting she's ever done. If you've ever seen that.
Well,
She
I
did-
know that's how
she
she
did very
acted
well in that.
in Hateful Eight, dude. That's exact. She acted the same way, just kind of drunk. Like
Yeah.
she was drunk.
She's very just lazy. Not to say she's lazy.
She's a
but
lazy
just-
talker.
But yeah,
and
she's
just
a
kind of
lazy
like
Yeah.
talker.
she talks
yes.
through her teeth,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's very weird.
She plays all her characters essentially kind of the same way. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's a bad actress. She does a
She's
good
getting
job.
paid. She's doing something right.
Yeah,
So-
she does a good job. I'm not saying that they all turn out the same way. She just plays them all the same
Yeah.
way.
So
If that makes any sense at all.
her motivations were completely clear, other than the fact that I knew she had cancer in the movie, and I'm like, okay, so she has cancer. I was like, I get that, but like she wants to get to the lighthouse for what reason? I guess just because she's curious and she wants to know.
she
No,
started
she
it.
wanted to be the one to like fix what was wrong.
Yeah, she started the whole investigation on it, and she wanted to be the one to finish it.
Yeah, I think
Gotcha.
she wanted her name to be like known.
I lied about only having 2 things. I have one more. I just now noticed on
You
my.
fucking liar.
I know, I'm a fucking liar.
Fucking lying all the
So
time.
all of these women, they were never in the military, but they knew an awful lot about protocol and weapons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did. So well,
Maybe they trained a little bit. before.
Cass. I don't know about Cass. She didn't. What was she before?
They were all
Well, I know.
scientists,
Well, Gina Rodriguez
Yeah.
was a
except for Lena. Lena had military
Gina
background, but
Rodriguez was med.
she was med. She was
a paramedic.
She was a paramedic.
Yeah,
they knew
paramedic.
they knew how to pull a trigger, but not really actually how to handle a firearm.
That's why
I was gonna say-
that chick was like, "Hey,
They
how
were
do you
very good
know
at,
how
like-
to handle guns so well."
Yeah.
At,
And
like
the
protocol
scientist
though,
lady
like
was
about
like, "I
fall
used to be
in
the
and
military."
how.
Yeah.
Okay, perimeter.
okay.
You know, like if you
they-
tell me like we're gonna take turns, you know, like
That's why I didn't understand. Like,
knew
why
exactly
would
what
why
to do,
wouldn't you
when
want
to do
Lena
it.
to go in with you? Like, she's the only one with military history. Like,
Right.
she
Yeah,
did
but
7 years in the army.
sure, but like they all seem to just know what to do and when to do it.
Right.
Right.
I'm sure they had to have had some kind of like training and
Yeah,
stuff
But by
before they
who?
went in.
There was no military there.
well, I'm sure there was military there, but
Yeah,
you're
like
not
one
gonna
guy.
see-
He's
you're
like
not-
in
They
the
didn't really
classroom
show.
doing
Yeah, but they
it.
didn't really show a lot of people at that base.
Yeah.
I guess
So-
it's just.
That's why I was
I
like,
guess we
God,
did only see,
did they
like,
not have the
parts
money
of
for
it.
the extras or what? Like,
I don't know.
they put all their money in the visuals for this movie, I guess.
So, you know, when they go down that little hole in the lighthouse,
Yeah.
when she's walking through that little hallway and she's at the end of that archway. Am I the only one that noticed that it looked like a fucking vagina cavity?
They always do.
Like that was bad.
In the what?
Like the doorway when she's standing there getting ready, out when she goes through the hole.
You ever
in
seen
the lighthouse.
Alien? They all
Yeah,
look like
yeah.
they all look vaginas and dicks.
Yeah.
they
That's
always
what it
do.
looked like in Stranger Things too. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I think that those things always bring up the point of creation.
Yeah, I get
So-
it. I mean, and that's
Well, how do you
that's kind of
create-
where I was getting at.
How do you
was like,
create
was-
life?
Yeah.
A penis and a vagina. You know? So it's that act.
Symbolism.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
Symbolism.
thinking.
What's
that
the
they were trying to-
symbology there?
Yeah.
The
some weird
symbolism.
symbology.
And
So instead of standing guard, though, wouldn't it have made more sense for them to all just stay in the building
Hmm?
and just stay
Yeah.
in one room and guard that one room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I didn't understand why are they all up in that tower?
but
And and she's
right,
down
that's
in
what
that
I'm
fucking
getting at.
little open shack.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
By
getting.
herself. I'm like,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, that's
You
not
would be
very
up
smart,
there.
dude.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Like, why
yeah.
didn't they stay up there where it
Yeah.
was safe? Like all of them together,
and then just use your night
and like
vision
one
or
person
whatever.
just
yeah.
one person stands out on the deck. Like,
Yeah, it just looks around. Like, you got a better vantage point up there anyway.
That's
Why
what
would
I
you be up there?
mean.
grass is moving over there now.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, yeah,
That's a
there-
weird
don't get me
buggy
wrong.
looking
Something still might be
Okay.
able to get up
Look,
there, but
there's
at
a
least you
bear.
know it's coming.
yeah.
Right.
Like that bear busting through the fucking thing. Like,
You would have seen that.
yeah, you're gonna
You
see
would
that.
see the grass it's in.
Yeah, you're gonna see it
Right.
running
See it
through the
moving.
grass. The
Yeah,
gas.
you
The gas,
you
the
would have
gas.
seen it long before it grabbed her.
Right.
Yeah, that made absolutely no sense. Well, there's the
I think they were
non-military
just
training,
trying-
I guess.
think they
But
were-
There it
why
is,
would
yeah.
why would Lena have gone along with it? That's the dumbest thing.
Yeah,
I've
right.
ever
And
heard.
then they're just out there walking around in the dark by themselves, like
I
it's
think-
no big deal. Like, dude, where are your lights? like lights, man.
Something.
Like, something grabbed her. I think it was a bear. It was definitely a fucking bear. like what the fuck, dude?
Oh, and his hair. Her husband's hair, long and curly.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't have let that go on.
No.
Well, it depends on if he's special forces and whatnot. Like,
Yeah.
depends on what division he's in and all that. Like, sometimes
He
they do
was
let
a
those guys grow their
lieutenant
hair.
or something
Yeah.
He's a sergeant.
Yeah.
But he's a sergeant. Sergeants aren't that high up. like,
Oh, jeez.
all right, what were we talking about?
We were
His
talking-
curly hair bothered me because he was
Yeah,
in the
curly hair.
military.
Oh, military.
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 Mhm.
Little turd.
I think that was where we left off.
Yeah.
Was that where we left off?
Mhm.
We were
I mean, that was
talking
the last
about
thing I
how,
remember
how
saying. It bugged me.
everything bugged you.
You bugged the shit out of me.
So,
Good.
who thought it was a super colorful movie?
Oh, what?
Super
Not
colorful.
it. No, I'm just
Colorful?
Well, yeah.
There was like so much color in this movie.
There was.
So, were
No,
those
it was
elks or
pretty-
deer?
I
Those
think
were
it was-
deer. They
It
were
was
too small to be elks, weren't they?
Yeah, elk is
They was really
I
pretty.
guess elk
though.
are really big, yeah.
Yeah. that was
not as big
really
as a
pretty,
moose,
though.
but they're fucking
It's really
pretty
pretty.
big.
They look like, but they ran like elk, though,
They
not
did.
deer. It was weird.
It was like a cat, deer, and everything mixed into it.
Kind of looked like it had the colors of a winter
I even wrote
owl.
this down. I said,
Yeah.
let's make a movie where all the smart people make really dumb decisions, like going in the fucking
Seriously.
creepy hole. Like,
right?
all the smart people go and make all the dumb decisions.
They were all being mental. Like
Yeah.
at the end, I was like, why is it always the white chick that does? Not the white chick, but like, why is it always like the? Why? Why would you go into the hole?
Here's my
Dad's
thought.
the one that said the thing about the white chick always being stupid.
Yeah, the white girls are always stupid.
Yeah. So you're walking to the lighthouse and you see
And somehow they always survive anyway. I don't get it.
four skeletons. I'm confused. What were the
racist.
point of the four skeletons in front of the lighthouse? Like, who
Were
was that supposed to be?
those-
The four skeleton. Oh, I don't know. It was some kind of weird.
You would think that would be been explained somewhat.
Yeah, like it
You
was
know
some
what I
kind of
mean?
weird like
Ritual.
ritual or like sacrifice or something.
So you're walking to the lighthouse, you see these four skeletons, and then you walk inside, you see this charred skeleton, and you watch the video of it, you see this thing, you know what I mean?
This very
then
odd
you
looking
go into the
hole.
Then you go into the hole. Well, you see the grenades. Why wouldn't you just throw a grenade in the hole? Couple grenades. Fuck, I'd throw
Well,
like
she
three down
drops
there.
the gun. Like she has a perfectly good gun. She drops that too.
Yeah, she doesn't go in there armed.
Right.
It's like,
Well, she goes in their arm. She shoots the thing, and it like
Oh,
the
yeah,
bullets go
yeah,
through it.
Right,
or
but she
whatever.
drops it. Like she just drops it after that. Like
Because
she,
what
like,
the
well,
well,
yeah, I mean,
obviously,
it's
I
not
think
gonna
at that
do
point she
anything
realized,
for
well,
you.
this ain't gonna do me no good.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you keep it just in case?
I don't know.
You know what I
trying
mean?
to,
Like, it has a sling. You just sling it on your
Right.
back and run.
I mean, there's a lot of the
not
whole
like it's all that
lighthouse,
heavy.
the entire lighthouse scene, everything in the
That's
lighthouse.
where it fell apart for me.
Well, it's not that it felt. It got really fucking confusing really fast.
yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck is going on
That's,
right now?
that's
Like,
what I mean. That's
Karen,
where
Karen
that's
is
where
very
my
big. The ending has to be good for her because
Right.
not,
but
she's-
that's where
done.
that's where I'm saying is that, like, you know, if I have to interpret the ending and it's wrong, or like, you know, that's the ending and that's
Right.
where it fell apart. Everything else was fine. Everything
Yeah.
else I was intrigued. I was in it. I was
So the part where the lady turns into the plant. Did you
Where'd
see her
she
turn into a
go?
plant?
no,
where
yeah.
she
Like, I
went?
wanted to see
No, but she
where she
did.
went.
I know she did, but I
Because
was
you
like,
see her, like,
yeah, I
turn
saw
around.
that, but
Yeah.
like just then she like goes to find her and like she's not there.
She's gone.
And then she's crying.
she's just in there somewhere.
She's in them.
She's
yeah.
one of those plants.
I was just like, where the
would've
fuck did she
loved
go?
to
I
see
would
her
yeah, I
turn
wanted to see her
into
turn
it,
into a plant.
But
Right.
you don't.
Yeah, I was
were
disappointed by that. I was
denied
like,
that.
what
Spend
the
too
fuck?
much money on the cinematics.
I was like, why are we watching everybody else lose their shit and die and get obliterated and all this? Like,
That
When
was
the
like
life
the
girl
most-
turns into a plant and we can't even see it.
Yeah.
That was like the most peaceful death. You know what I mean?
she
I
seemed
don't
like
know,
it was really
probably
peaceful to her.
hurt.
She seemed like she was pretty okay
Yeah,
with
it
it.
seemed like she was
Well,
pretty
she was
alright.
one of
Hey,
the
but that
things
doesn't
that
mean it
I
doesn't
read
hurt.
about when I was looking stuff up. And I don't remember if I put it in there or not, but it said that the deaths in the movie represent the
There.
alien. So the alien was interested in creation, which I guess I was kind of right about my ending because of that. But like, the alien was interested in creation, and so the four deaths, the people that were interested in curiosity and creation, had peaceful deaths or lived. So that's Lena and that other girl. She had a peaceful death and Lena lived.
Right.
The other two were interested in destruction, and they died destructive deaths. But I don't remember. Okay, first of all, the doctor, She wasn't really destructive. I wouldn't define her as
Which
destructive.
one?
Dr.
The
Ventress.
psychiatrist.
I would define her as curious.
That wasn't really a destructive death. Though, was it? She was breathing fire, wasn't she?
She like turned into light. I don't know what the fuck happened to her.
Well, I mean, she got her answers.
Right, but she was curious and like I wouldn't
She didn't
Right.
scream in her death. It was more of just a
I wouldn't, but I wouldn't consider her destructive. And that was one of the things that was like the director explained was that the two that died that way was because of destruction in their personalities or something like that.
I'm not really sure. I don't understand there are things about this movie that really. This is why I was like, I would watch it again because I want to know. I need to watch it again and try to like maybe there's things that I missed that I need to piece together a little better. And the main reason why I'd be okay with like 100% on board watching this again is because of the visuals. Like it is just a gorgeous movie to watch. It's like, but I love like colorful, I love vibrant things, and it
Like Dragon Ball Super Broly.
right, exactly. So like scenes in movies like that, like that. Why do you think I loved Knock at the Cabin so much? Like those vibrant shots and like just it was so saturated.
My favorite movies that's like that is The Fifth Element.
Fifth Element,
I love
exactly.
that movie.
So
that's actually
stuff
one
like
of my
that.
favorite movies, but there's all kinds of things about it I like.
But
not just
yeah,
the
but like
vibrant
I love
colors.
oversaturation and vibrance in movies and stuff, and so whenever I see stuff like that, it's like, oh my god, it just draws me in. Like, so like if you have a scene where like it's just pure green grass and beautiful flowers and that, and it's super saturated with
Mhm.
color, like you got me automatically. So that's just
What
how
Dreams
I am.
May Come. That's another good one.
That is, I love that movie.
That's a good
I
movie.
love that movie. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't understand a lot of even his explanations. But that was one of them, was that the four deaths represent their personalities in some way. Or the four end results for the four different characters represents their personalities. The two were destructive deaths for destructive personalities. One was peaceful for a peaceful person, and one was creation because she was curious and wanted to create a new life.
But then how did it happen the first time with the guy?
I don't have all the answers. I'm not him.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know that I have. I'm pretty much out of.
that was all my notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate science.
It's a
I
thinker,
love
and this
science.
movie's
I
a
don't
thinker.
like
But and I'm
science.
not big on movies where you got to think too much. But like this one, like had me thinking to the point that like it was actually interesting. So
Right.
No,
I was
hurt my
thinking
brain.
about it in a good way, and I think I guess that's a bonus. I don't know. I guess the vibrant colors and stuff really pulled me in too. So
But usually by the end of alien movies like these, my brain hurts and I want to go to sleep, no matter what time it is. Not because like the movie was boring or anything, but because my brain hurts. Because it like my brain stops me from thinking. It's like, wait, hold on, I got it. It's almost there, and then it just it's gone.
I didn't have a problem following this.
well, there you go. 5 seconds with a teenager.
I didn't have a
blown.
problem following the science or anything like that. It's just
They look like Ghostbusters. I said that yesterday, but
And
they
it's
did.
walking up to the shimmer.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
look, Ghostbusters.
it's funny.
They did. Oh, with their guns in hand and everything, and then their
Oh.
backpacks.
We could do a mystery science theater style rewatch
Of this?
of this and like play
Oh
the
my God.
Ghostbusters theme when they start to walk up. Sorry.
Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
How many of there
There
were
was
there?
five of
Five
them.
doctors.
The Shimmer Doctors.
Four doctors.
The Shimmer Ladies.
Shimmer ladies. I thought there was 5 of them.
There were
There's
5 of them. Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, there was
There's 5.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right. Well,
Oh,
Let's-
wait, I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're
I'm sorry. Okay, so why was she bleeding from her nose? Like whenever that one drop of blood went in, why was she bleeding from her nose? Like the side of her nose. Whenever that one drop of blood went into the weird circle thing.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't
that.
remember how that happened.
Think
The part where she was bleeding.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Could have
that.
been
Yeah,
during like
that's
the whole
how
bear
they
attack. I
created
don't
a
know.
mirror of her.
yeah.
Oh
but
yeah,
why
yeah,
it
would-
went in
yeah.
But when did that happen? When did she start?
I don't know.
Was it during the bear attack? I don't know.
No, because it was like way after the bear attack.
Yeah.
Fresh, yeah. It was fresh blood.
This is whenever she was down in the hole. So
Or
I don't know,
'cause
something happened
The,
where-
the drop of her blood floated into the weird circle
Debris
box
after
thing.
the doctor blew up.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be something. I
That's
don't
my
know.
that's my
Maybe
best
maybe the
hypothesis.
doctor dust got in her face and it caught
Doctor
her.
Dust.
Dr.
Doctor Dust.
Sounds like a wrestler
I'm
name.
going with
No.
Doctor Debris.
Doctor Debris.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's my guess. I don't know how it happened.
Like,
So
you got me.
yeah,
That's what I was thinking last night because I was like, how did that even happen? How did she manage to bleed from right there? I don't think I've ever bled from the side of my nose before.
No, that didn't happen.
No.
Never got cut.
No, I've cut
Just
the
me,
top
huh?
of my nose.
Well, it's probably because your glasses or something back when you were a kid.
I didn't
No,
wear
I was
glasses
kidding.
as a kid. Oh, you
Mm.
I've never had the side of my nose bleed for. No.
Allie has.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Mm.
glasses.
She's kind of.
Ditzy.
Anyways.
I didn't say it. You did. I love you, Allie. If you ever watch this,
Oh, I
remember
love her
Aunt
too,
Karen
but she's
loves
my
you so
ditzy daughter.
much.
She's bad.
all my kids are ditzy, so I got
Wow.
nothing, man.
I'm not even going to disagree with you.
All right,
So let's get into our reviews.
Let's go, this bitch.
Karen, what's your review?
Okay.
Karen, what's your review?
All right. Well, okay. So I'll give you vibrant colors, vibrancy. The cinematography was really good. Acting was so-so, I would say. Obviously Natalie Portman does a good job. Jennifer Jason Leigh is Jennifer Jason Leigh. The other girls do a pretty good job, but really the only one that's any good is Natalie Portman. Even Oscar Isaac, he does just like a really good job with the mirror because he's just stone. Like he doesn't. There's no emotion at all, which is pretty good acting. It's hard to hold that, but so the acting was so. The story was great up until the end. I was in it. I was interested. I was really engaged, but it fell apart for me there at the end. So there was a lot to like, but just a lot to not like. So I'm gonna just go split in half and say 5.
I think we're all kind of in agreement, but the ending was just
A confusing
dud.
mess.
a dud.
Confusing mess.
Yeah. All right. Mess, and what do you think?
Pretty much the same stuff as Karen, except I really like Gina Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
She's basing her whole movie off this one actress.
The one that goes nuts.
Yeah, the one that goes nuts.
8 out of 10 because of Gina.
Gina's shit.
No. I don't like science movies though, which, I mean, I won't put that in there as a denominator or adder or anything.
An adder? Is that a word?
We make things.
Oh, I was gonna say, we
we
can
make
add that
words
to the-
up. She's
we can
part
add
of
that to
this
our
now, so
dictionary.
she
Bonsai
it can go in the
dictionary.
it can go in the
It's going in the
dictionary.
dictionary.
You can make up the definition later.
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys ever make up the definition for love?
That's later.
Don't.
It's later.
They already
Okay.
forgot, okay?
I don't remember what the word was.
I don't either.
I do. I have it written down. Do you want to know it? You want to know
No.
it?
No, just
go on with your
continue with your
review.
review.
I've written it
Continue with your review.
down. Okay.
I want to know
It was.
She's stalling.
She's about to get stabbed with a pen.
Keep my pencil over here. It was a very beautiful movie, and I loved it.
She's stalling. Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Okay, fine. It was permanencies.
Mhm.
Permanencies. Yep.
Permanencies.
You ought to bring up the past.
I'm all about the future, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
So
more
continue with your
realistic.
review. Let's go.
I love the realistic hissy.
There's
Okay.
no
Another one. Yeah.
No, yeah. We'll keep adding.
I love the bear though. The bear was probably my favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a 5, a 5.5. Do we do halves?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
do
5.5.
All right.
Yeah.
Joseph, what do you think?
So I liked it a little bit more than them. So there's a lot of good things about this movie. The visuals, the graphics, the saturated colors, story was really neat. I think that a lot of the explanation was really cool. But yeah, I agree with Karen that the ending kind of fell apart, and it almost seemed like they just didn't know how to end it or what to do. They're like,
nuclear ending.
yeah, they were like, man, well, we got this crazy story, but how do we end it, and how do we, without seeming like they definitely didn't want a happy ending. Obviously, they wanted it to seem. They wanted this ambiguous ending that I think that just they fell on the face with, and I think that if they would have done a better job of explaining and just like being like, listen, this is what it is, instead of like, beating around the bush about it, just tell us exactly what it is and what the ending is and what, tell us what you want instead of.
I cannot stand that shit.
Yeah, it's irritating. It's the one thing that really drove me down on this movie because the whole movie was great until the end where I was just left with like, what the fuck, more questions than answers, I'm just like, what the fuck, especially after the shimmer blew up and you're like, okay, so it's all gone.
Yeah.
But then they're like, no. So they're like, no, these two might be aliens or whatever. And I'm like, just like, what the fuck? So, but other than that, like, I got no other complaints really. I loved all the acting in it. I think that they were all pretty good for the most part. Natalie Portman always kills it. Oscar Isaac always kills it. Other than that, though, I don't know. I think I'd have to come in and say I give it a 6.5. I think it's a pretty good movie, and actually, I take that back. I'd probably give it. I'm going to give it a 7. I think it's a good movie, and I'd watch it again. Honestly, I'm actually thinking about buying it on Blu-ray. I am. I'm thinking about adding it to my collection because I liked it. So, and I feel like I need to watch it again.
It would go on the A's.
No shit.
Yeah.
I thought it goes in the ends.
Yeah. For Annihilation.
Huh. Funny.
I thought it started with an E.
Annihilation.
But it's an I.
It's an E, guys. But yeah, I think that it's a 7 for me. I think it's a good movie. I'd watch it again for sure, and I would recommend it to people, especially for people that are like fans of this sort of genre,
Scientific,
and shit like this. Yeah, like if you're into like alien movies or like especially the newer like alien franchise movies,
evolution.
Like, the evolution type stuff, like or like Prometheus. If you're into that shit. You need to watch that movie.
I know.
Evolution is so good.
It is. It's so funny.
But yeah, 7.
Apparently, I'm a humorless ice queen in need of a good humping.
I'm gonna go.
I think this wall got plenty of it.
Yeah, the wall
Already happened.
Yeah,
It's
the
all
wall
good.
definitely got it. But yeah, 7 for me. That's all she wrote.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with my pros. I really had great color. The cinematography was good. The gore was where it needed to be.
Yes.
I forgot to bring that up. Yeah.
It had some decent chilling factors to it.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what
see, I didn't even think about it. Yeah, that's also.
I mean,
yeah.
that bear, holy fuck.
The bear was like crazy.
And
they wouldn't even like
that could
overly
give
done
you
either.
nightmares if you weren't like prepared.
Yeah, they could have really went all out. Like,
I wasn't prepared for
artistically.
it. That's where. That's why it was. So...
They could have went all out artistically with that bear, but they were just like, no, he's just missing its face.
Like when
and
I heard
it's got some badass teeth. You know what I mean?
When I heard the screaming, I was like, it's got to be the bear. It's got to be the bear.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, yep. But still, it's just seeing it open its mouth and you hear the scream. It's still chilling.
It was so cool.
Cons, I didn't really care for the score too much.
I did. I like some of the music in it.
Some, but not like some of them just weren't hitting for me.
No.
A lot of it kind of
seemed
took
like
me out of it.
Some of the
honestly.
pacing was a little slow. Like some of the like flashbacks, it just kind of like dragged. The movie down.
Some of them flashbacks could have
Like the
I thought
sex
they could've done
scene, they could have done away with the sex scenes.
Yeah, and I thought they could have done
I
better with like
shooting.
the setup.
Yeah.
The setup
Yeah.
of the
Yeah, they could have done away with some of that stuff and probably.
I think they could
Piqued my
have
interest a
done
little
away
bit
with
more.
that stuff and done more with like the preparation, because they said whenever she first meets them ladies, she's like, oh yeah, we're going in 6 days. I'm like,
Yeah.
So why not show us some prep work before
Right.
we go in
Yeah,
and cut out them like
the sex scenes and the
like the
flashbacks.
sex scene, yeah, the flashbacks.
Yeah,
cut out the whole cheating thing in
Yeah.
general, and then just like give us more of that like before we go in. Shit.
Yeah.
If they cut that out though, then we wouldn't understand the ending.
I didn't understand it anyway.
It was too confusing regardless. So,
understand it anyway.
with all that,
You'd be really confused then.
I was
I would.
with all that I was going to give it a 7, but the more we talked about it, it kind of dropped it down for me. So I went down to a 6. So that's where I'm at with it.
So I liked it the mostest.
Yeah.
Mostest.
Yeah.
Mostest.
And I get where you're coming from. I just
Mosties.
Yeah.
The mosties.
Wastes.
Ugh.
All right, so that's our review. Let's go into Rotten Tomatoes.
Woohoo! Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, I
Hopefully
can't
it
wait. There's
works
gonna be
this
good
time.
ones. I hope there's gonna be good ones.
Hopefully,
There's gotta be good ones.
The ending sucked.
So-
Tell us
the
something.
ending. Fuck
Tell
the
us-
ending, man.
Tell us
Oh,
something you
man.
don't know.
Yeah.
Ending sucked. Bear ruled.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. That'd be review of the year, dude. Ending sucked. Bears awesome.
Oh man.
I mean, the review equivalency of Doyle rules.
Oh, Doyle rules.
That bear was screaming for these different reasons. All right, so what do you guys?
Oh,
May.
we guess.
Oh,
Yes.
critics.
Critics.
Critics, I think they loved it. I'm gonna go 89.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I went too high. I
You
already know it.
Definitely went too high. I'm gonna go 75.
I'll go 79.
Karen's gonna take this.
Really?
88%.
Really?
Boom!
Oh, wow,
What
okay.
up?
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
I
higher
was
than-
totally
that's
thinking
way
I
higher
went
than
too
I
high.
thought it'd be. Like,
Them critics.
I knew
man.
that people liked it. And
They're
stuff. I didn't know
fucking
it was
hoity-toity.
Certified
All right.
fresh.
Certified fresh.
They're
I can
wrong.
see that.
Critics
I mean,
consent.
Fucking
you want
critics.
me to read that, or do you?
Yeah,
want me to-
critics consensus. Yeah, we read it.
Annihilation backs up its sci-fi visual wonders and visceral genre thrills with an impressively ambitious and surprisingly strange exploration of challenging themes that should leave audiences pondering long after the end credits roll.
That's
Wow.
true.
And that's exactly what happened. You're not fucking wrong.
No, I mean, that's on. So, audience score.
Mm.
I think it's gonna be lower.
63.
Ooh. I bet
Ooh.
it's. I want to go 70.
I'm gonna go 43.
Karen's going to take this by one. Well,
Really?
Really?
She was right between you two. 66%. She was off by 3. You were off by 4.
Oh wow.
It's been a long time since I won.
Yeah, it's both of them too. Like, geez, dude.
All right, so let's
Do I win? What do I win?
What do I win?
What do I win?
fuck are the reviews.
Go down.
I'm going down. It's just a long fucking scroll.
It's a long way down. It's all the way at the bottom.
I'm at the bottom. It's not doing anything.
You have to scroll.
I'm at the bottom.
I'll tell you what, Karen. Since you won, we will let you.
No, I don't want anything to do with your damn Smurfs. I know exactly.
No,
where
that
you're going.
costs money. That's
I
20
saw
bucks.
when you
That's
looking
20
at the
bucks,
wall.
All right, let's see audience.
That could have been your silhouette on the wall.
No.
Oh my God.
I would have worn the goggles.
All right, so
okay, so hold on. So since you won,
Oh
what
my
we'll do
God.
is we'll let you pick whether we watch Cocaine Bear or if we do a movie from the box.
Oh.
I'm hosting.
Think
Please
about
be
it. Think about
generous.
it.
Oh man.
Just think about
I'll
it. We'll give it to you at the end.
Okay.
so this one's a 2-star. You might like this one. Unlike Ex Machina, this film aids more from its visuals than its plot, pretty but pointless.
I like Ex Machina. That's a good movie.
I thought he said.
I think
Box
it's actually on
for
our
a
list,
second.
too.
I
I
actually
think-
like Ex Machina too. Like,
Yeah, that's a good movie. I think that's actually on our list. I think Ex Machina is.
it's been a long time since I've seen it though.
It's been a long time for me
time.
too. Yeah, I haven't seen it since it came out. I think.
Maybe like the exact opposite of Drive. That movie
Here-
sucked this time.
Here's a
That movie was
1-star. The book was bad, and this is bad.
You actually took the time to do both. Like, it's bad.
I
Like,
kind of want to read the book though. Like, I bet it explains it.
I bet it explains
Maybe.
a lot more.
I don't know.
1-star. The only good thing about the movie is Natalie Portman. Probably because all you like was watching the sex scenes with her.
Mm.
I don't even find her attractive.
No,
Dude,
not really.
Jeremiah was bitching about that. He's like, dude, her back looks like she's got chicken wings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, she's so goddamn skinny.
That's what
Like,
he was bitching about.
She is so deathly skinny, man,
Yeah,
and she's always been like that. Too.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
he was bitching about it.
2-star. Pass on this one. Boring, slow, disjointed, full of holes. No scare factor. No wonder.
No
low
scare
suspense.
factor. That bear was scary as
I
shit.
was gonna say,
no-
there's
no
plenty of
suspense.
scare factor.
Did I say boring? It's boring. The disappointing part is there actually an interesting concept here.
I wouldn't say it was boring.
I definitely wasn't boring. I wouldn't say that at all.
1 star. Gringo Hollywood nonsense. Natalie Portman clearly has
Why
less.
you have to throw the gringo in there. Like, what?
Clearly has less criteria than I thought she would.
Gringo nonsense.
Yeah,
What does that even mean?
Gringo Hollywood nonsense.
What? Why?
Way to get real racist about it,
Right?
dude.
Right?
Like,
How do you know what color?
Yeah.
You know, what'd be really pissed me off though is I've ever read the book and I was even more confused. Like I spent all that time reading this.
you'd be the one on there saying the same thing. Like, movie was bad, book was bad too.
Yeah. Book was worse though because I had to spend all that fucking
Yeah,
time.
all that
reading
time.
1 star. Meh.
Meh.
Oh,
it. That's my favorite one.
Wow, okay. That's
Meh.
that's saying a lot with only with a little one word. One word. Meh. I mean,
like
who hasn't rated a movie that like? What'd you think of the movie? Like, eh.
It's true.
Everybody has.
Like
Like,
usually when you're talking to somebody and they say, "Hey, what'd you think?" You go meh, but then you talk a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't just go meh and then
no, this
you,
guy,
and then walk away.
this guy's just like the movie. This guy's just like the movie. He's leaving you thinking.
Yeah.
Man, like, yeah, but why?
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
You'll find out.
Just like the movie, figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I think if I ever write reviews anymore, I'm just going to do that.
Every review from this guy says meh.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
Karen,
Shit,
what
I'm
tri-
so not prepared. Hold on.
Karen, what trivia you got?
I'm working on it. It's here. Here it is.
Are you done writing it down now?
I am
I don't blame
so
her.
over that.
She's like, I'm getting carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
I do not blame her.
Due to poorly received screen testing, David Ellison, a financier at Paramount, became concerned that the film was too intellectual and too complicated, and demanded changes to make it appeal to a wider audience.
I are not smart. I cannot watch this movie.
I am one of them.
I can get behind that.
Including making Natalie Portman's character more sympathetic and changing the ending. Producer Scott Rudin sided with Garland, who is the director, in his desire to not alter the film, defending the film and refusing to take notes. Rudin had final cut, so Rudin won, and the film was not changed.
What? She was supposed to be more sympathetic at the end,
Yeah,
that didn't happen.
No, nothing got changed.
I didn't think that she wasn't that unsympathetic anyway.
I did.
You-
Cheating on her husband and all that.
Well, yeah,
Clicky.
but I'm saying like at the end. Do it
At the
again.
end, that's
Do it
the
again.
point. That's
Do it again. Do it again. Just hold the
We're
button.
good.
Just hold the button. There you go.
oh, now we're taking pictures.
It's all good.
It's perfect.
Pink.
That's the point, though, is that at the end she's, changed.
I understand that,
Not
but
mentally, but everything.
I just didn't think that she was as ruthless as they make it sound like she is. You know what I mean?
No, maybe not ruthless, but I mean, you're not supposed to like her, and I get that because
Okay,
I
I guess.
didn't care for her.
I didn't care for her throughout the whole movie. So I mean,
Yeah. On December 7th, this is included into this same thing. It was announced that due to clashes between producer Scott Rudin and David Ellison, the shift in Paramount's leadership, a deal was struck with Netflix. This is why I think you thought Netflix had this movie.
it is a Netflix movie.
Yeah, a deal was struck with Netflix handling international distribution rather than releasing the film in theaters. According to this deal, Paramount would handle the US and China release, while Netflix would begin streaming the film in other territories 17 days later. Director Alex Gard.
So, but it's not even on Netflix right now, but it's still a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
I thought they kept
apparently.
all
It's so
Netflix.
weird how they it's so weird how their contracts work.
I
with
think that
certain
it was a
movies and-
distribution agreement, but it's not necessarily a Netflix movie.
right. Okay.
They had
So they were licensed to distribute it,
at
but
the,
it's not.
at the beginning at the release.
But they don't have they don't have the sole contract of it to be on
Correct.
just their streaming platform.
yeah, they were allowed to
and I don't think that's the first time they've done that either.
No, so like they instead of releasing in theaters, they give it to Netflix to
Just-
stream.
yeah.
So Netflix had that streaming right out of the gate. But then
Yeah, and then they were so from
Everybody
there
else
they're like,
can-
all right, well our contract with Netflix is up.
We
So
We
can
can put it
start-
on other
it
platforms.
goes to
Yeah.
other platforms then.
Gotcha.
Director Alex Garland decided not to reread the novel Annihilation. Instead, he decided to adapt it like a dream of the book. The film was based on the first book in the Southern Reach trilogy. The first base the crew encounters within the Shimmer is named the Southern Reach after the book series.
There's a series?
So the book is bad.
3 books?
3 books.
So book is bad.
This is the first book? Or is this just based off the first book?
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck do they do in the other 2 books? Like,
I don't know.
now I'm interested.
I'm just reading the fucking news, man.
Like, what the fuck?
I don't make the news. I just read
You're
it.
not news, you're trivia. Get right.
It's a saying.
I do news.
It's a saying.
Get right.
I don't make the trivia. I just read it. That doesn't make the. It doesn't sound the
You
same.
do the trivia.
Oscar Isaac filmed this movie and Star Wars episode, whatever the fuck, The Last Jedi, on adjacent studio lots. He had the same trailer for both films and would often film scenes for both movies on the same day. Good thing he didn't have a lot to do in this movie.
Well, he's apparently right there. Both of his movies, he's got 2 jobs going on in the same place.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying, like, good thing he didn't have a lot of, like, dialogue
No
and,
shit.
like, he just had to be wooden.
He was getting paid that year, dude.
Oh,
Like,
fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, he's going away. Yeah. Fucking
Prior-
double time, bitch.
Rolling in it.
Yeah.
Prior to its release, the film drew some criticism for the casting of Natalie Portman and Jennifer Jason Leigh as characters who are, in the books, described as Asian and half Native American. Alex Garland explained that none of the 5 female characters' ethnicity is revealed in the first book, which is the only one of the trilogy that he had read, and that the script was actually complete before the second book was published. He cast the characters based on his reaction only to the characters he met in the casting process or the characters that he had worked with or the actors that he had worked with before. Because he wanted to take the story in his own direction, he did not read the other 2 books while making this film in order to not be influenced by them. Frances McDormand was considered for the role of Dr. Ventress before Jennifer Jason
Hold on a
Leigh.
minute. So you're telling me that those girls all lived were in this sequel books?
Yes.
So they didn't die in the first book.
Well, at least the Doctor and Lena.
Okay, so the doctor didn't die in the first book.
Yeah, I guess.
No, she just turned to dust.
Yeah, so her dust is still alive, apparently. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Why are you asking me?
Oh man, I'm just confused. Still confused.
You're asking me, who hated the ending, like, and just is
Just
over
confused.
it?
Just because you hate it doesn't mean you don't pay attention to it.
I did pay attention to it. I gave you my idea of what it meant. The plot shares several similarities with the H.P. Lovecraft 1927 short story, The Color Out of Space. Also
see it.
adapted. That's much better, though.
I love that movie too,
Yeah.
though.
Also adapted into a film in the same year. Both movies share a similar color palette and involve a meteor that crashes on planet Earth, an alien entity that changes the plant and animal life and alters the landscape around it, and a group of people that they affected by the meteor while they try to study the altered landscape around the crash landing.
I think that's the movie that I was like, yeah, I really like Color Out of Space. Everybody's like, then you should probably watch Annihilation. I think that was probably that movie that I was like,
I like The Color Out of Space.
I love Color Out of Space. It was
Yeah.
a good movie. It was fucking gory. Like,
Oh,
well, I would
yeah.
say, well, it was gory, but it was also like another one that was just visually fucking shocking, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
The abandoned house. This is what I was talking about. The abandoned house they camp out within the Shimmer is architecturally identical to the suburban house Lena and her husband live in outside the Shimmer. It's another example of the echoes. And yeah, we talked about this, but I actually noticed that. I kept waiting for Lena to bring it up. In an interview with EW.com, visual effects supervisor Andrew Whitehurst said they gave the horrific mutated bear creature from the movie a name. Whitehurst served as VFX supervisor at Visual Effects House Double Negative when the company worked on the movie Paddington. Whitehurst said Paddington is a very nice bear, named after Paddington Station in London, which is a very elegant Victorian station. So they named the mutant bear in this film Homerton, which is a slightly rough around the edges station in East London. That's cool as shit, is it not?
Funny, I know that. It's fucking hilarious.
And then finally, we kind of talked about this too, but the snake tattoo that appears on Lena's forearm is not there before she enters the Shimmer. It also appears on the arm of Anya, as well as the body of the soldier killed on the wall in the building they enter. The tattoo is a symbol of a snake eating itself, which ties into the film's theme of self-destruction.
You know what that also reminds me of? If you guys ever seen Raised by Wolves, it's a Ridley Scott show that was on HBO. Ran for 2 seasons.
Oh, like a long time ago I saw it.
Well, the second season just aired like last year or the year
then
before.
I didn't see the second season then.
And well, it took a long time for them to get the second season out, but there was a similar thing with theme around that in that show. And that show is very much like, it puts me in the mind of this a lot because of kind of the theme of like evolution and things like that run wild in that show, because it's very fucking random. Like they live next to a sea in the second season. They live next to an entire sea of acid. It's fucking insane, but it's a really good show. Like they canceled it after season 2, and it just kind of like, I was like, man, it was so good though. I was like but I love Ridley Scott. Like I like watching, but he's also the same guy. I did like Prometheus and shit like that. So
I liked Prometheus. A lot of people denied it.
I liked it. I like Prometheus. I mean, Ridley Scott, he was the one who created the first fucking Alien movie. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's his baby.
Yeah.
All right. So next week we need to draw a movie
We're going to draw a movie, or we're going to watch Cocaine Bear?
I'm torn.
You're torn?
Yeah, but it's getting a lot of buzz, and I want to watch it.
We're a little weird about it because we know that you guys don't, like, sucks because we don't want to, like, watch something and review it if you haven't seen it yet, obviously.
We don't want to exclude the audience.
Right, exactly. So that's why we're like the past couple of new releases that we did really didn't do very well because people, I just don't think that people were like, well, I haven't seen that movie yet, so I don't want to watch or listen to that podcast because
I don't want to get it ruined.
exactly, they're not going to listen to it if they haven't seen the movie.
Why don't
So-
you wait a few weeks then?
That's kind of where I was going to go with it. Why don't we wait, kind of sit on it for
No, it's not our decision. Karen won. We're going to let her choose.
Oh.
you, Karen.
Fine, then take something out of the chest.
Oh,
You do. You're the one.
Yeah,
Or no,
but
Madison
you
does.
choose.
I can't.
Where is the chest?
It's
It's
behind
over
you.
there, just
Behind
get it.
you.
behind
Yeah.
you.
Run, bitch, run! Don't hit the bonsai tree.
Just open it and. Okay, got it.
She can't reach it for review.
I have short arms.
You're short in general.
Short.
You got a big head and
finger.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
Ow!
big head, little
I'm
arms.
gonna lose a finger.
Ow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bitch.
It didn't hurt that bad.
Bitch.
I've never seen that movie before. The Terminator.
Yes.
The
Yes!
This is the first one?
Yes.
Okay. First
Yes. It makes me so happy.
I've never
one.
seen
That's
it
a good
before.
one.
It is. And I was like, thinking about it, like, dude, I hope we don't pull fucking Terminator 2 before we do
I know,
Terminator.
right?
Like, I'm gonna be
that
so
will drive
stupid.
me insane.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch the first one.
So let's see if it's streaming anywhere. I doubt it.
I have it
You
on
don't own
Blu-ray.
it?
Do
I have it on
own
Blu-ray upstairs.
I don't like unless it's in my little DVD thing. Nah, probably not.
Fucking Terminator. It's awesome.
Who doesn't own the Terminator?
It's so great that Madison's
watch
got
it
a
wherever.
host next week, too. She'll be like, so yeah, it was a movie.
So we watched the Terminator.
And that was the dumbest shit ever.
Made long before I was born.
Yeah,
These old
way.
motherfuckers around here want to watch old fucking
I think
movies.
I've seen bits of it from whenever I lived like down in Mississippi. Whenever Brandon would put it on and he would watch it, I've seen like
So it's
parts
on,
of
uh,
it.
You probably
I know
saw
he
the
was
second
a
one.
robot.
HBO Max, Hulu, Amazon, premium subscriptions.
No, well, like they're probably on
Yeah.
like everything then.
Yeah. So
That makes me happy.
You're so excited.
I love the Terminator
I'm
movies.
so excited.
I just can't hide it.
so join us next week as
Madison.
Madison will be
Madison.
hosting.
That's my name.
I know. I'm letting you answer.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
join us
host.
next. Yeah, join us
For-
next week as Madison host Terminator
One.
1.
Not one, just the Terminator.
The Terminator. It doesn't say the Terminator. It says Terminator.
You know who's in it? Arnold
Arnold
Schwarzenegger,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Michael Bain, however you want to pronounce it, and Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Jaeger.
Probably. I don't know.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what I am right now.
So subscribe to our social media
Everything.
and everything. Our Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple iTunes, Google.
Spotify, YouTube.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's what everybody's been doing.
Like and share,
We
subscribe.
don't get very
with
many
us and let us
downloads
know.
on the podcast anymore. Everybody's just
Yeah.
watching us on
Yeah.
YouTube now.
Let us know what you all
Do you
think.
blame
Comment, message
Not
us,
really.
whatever.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, hey.
I can't say anything. I'm only 15.
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
We're not gonna point anywhere near that direction.
No. So I'm Eric. I was your host today. Madison, Karen, and Joseph. See you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Don't forget to sacrifice your children.